cannot be black and proud and niggas too. White folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night. The goal for us is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. You just looking like you winning. You ain't winning. Louis Vuitton is winning, Nike's winning, Armani is winning, Gucci's winning. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And if we do not fix this level of financial illiteracy, lots of reasons why we are at the bottom of every single economic statistic that matters.
Well, family, manners and total respect. This video is not for everybody. It is for the conscious one them. Like me say, not for everybody. It is for the one them who are woke. The one them who are advanced in their thinking. Knowing that a lot of the things we say to black people on this earth today, no fight our cause. Yes, we understand say the white man this, the white man that, but look here. We can make it. We can do it. We just see a black man turn a president. We see a rich black man all over the place. Some of them are stars, some of them are movie stars, some of them are this, some of them are that. Rich and rotten rich. There are black men here in America richer than so many white people born. You have immigrants who come from Jamaica, find themselves with success. Richer than, more wealthier, in a better position than people who were born here. And the thing when we notice among our black people, you know what I heard we? Selfish and boasting is a kill. We are too boastful. We don't make it yet, but we are boast. And some of us will say, well, Carlos, a bad mind, they work hard for this. We can't buy anything we want to buy. That is the mentality of black people. We are scattered in our thinking. We don't think as one unit. Something one way or something the other way. I'm going to play this again and I'm going to reason with you and show you where I come from, people, because I'm an experience make a reason.
Cannot be black and proud and niggas too. White folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night. The goal for us is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. You just looking like you winning. You ain't winning. Louis Vuitton is winning, Nike's winning, Armani is winning, Gucci's winning. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And if we do not fix this level of financial illiteracy, lots of reasons why we are at the bottom of every single economic statistic that matters.
No, I don't know if you notice that boasting is gone up 200% on social media. Let's look on the people. People are brag and boast about stuff. People who never used to brag and boast, even the Rasta them see I do it. The Rasta them are follow the ball of them. And the Rasta used to be humble. When you know what them have, when you know what them drive. Even Rasta me see I step out and I do that now. It's like the humility that they in the black people. How we do a show off, car and this and that. How we don't own crap on this earth. How we do this go buy and spend money. Me see the artists them left from Jamaica come and foreign. Act like them a frightened Friday. Do you know what Jamaican live a foreign drive better car than what we not drive, live in a better house than one in a, and they never see it on social media? Do you know how many Jamaicans people? My God, enough of them yard, Suppose to see them a drive, suppose to see them live. Them no show up, them no bossy. We spend our lifetime pretending that we're rich, while the rich man spend his lifetime pretending that he's poor, hiding his money. And in reality, we don't have nothing. Selfish and boastful are killed with people. Let me show you something. Speaking from experience, when we left from foreign and come to America, the first place we stop is Oakland, California. 510. A black community. I'm talking about my experienced people. Then in the big C, when California lock down, I'm going to find out that Florida open up and them now lock down nobody. That's how I start travel to Florida. Knowing Florida, I used to spend some vacation down here and, you know, come on cruise and blah, 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 Florida. That's how I get to know Florida. And when the big C come in and California locked down, Florida was wide open like no big C in the down. You know? And it's the first time I've ever been around a large population of black people, especially Jamaican. I'm experienced with black Jamaicans are foreign. You'd have believed their father named Uncle Sam. Most of we they are foreign, and especially the youngsters. They don't want to drive a Honda or a Toyota, you know. They will work on fast food giant, and the first car they want, I want Benz, I want Beamer. I don't like me, I tell you. Back to Oakland, same way. Me live and see man get them local, and female get them local tax return money. And people before they go buy a regular little car, no for them could have buy a nice car, a Toyota or a Honda, you know. They could have buy a new used one, you know. Guess what they do? Go to some local mama and pop's place, go buy one called Benz or Jaguar. By them drive down the road, they start broke down upon them can't fix it. That is us as black people. Live our lifetime acting like we're rich or we're not rich. Look for the artists, them people. Look what is going on social media. Is that black people show off on each other. We're not showing off on nobody else, you know. You can't show up on the white man, the Chinese man, or the Indian man because of them make the things. We show off on the black man. Now, we tell about Oakland, experience in Oakland, black people. We go to Florida, a large amount of black Jamaicans. And the first time you see how Jamaicans act, yeah, a foreign out of Jamaica. People, some of the most boastful and the most show-off Jamaicans, they are Florida people. Show off, so you really say, boy, they never born poor when you see them sometimes. It's like, wow, black people, you know. I now say some of we not nice, you know. I now mix up everybody, you know. Some. All right? Then we go and place them Atlanta. Now, in Atlanta, I'm showing them have this, they burn out the side shows and stuff like that. Not in Atlanta, Louisiana, New Orleans. New Orleans, right? New Orleans, the people in New Orleans, they like to have fun. The black people, them come out with them ATV, them four-wheeler, them wheelie, them bike, and they just come out and gather. They love to spend. New Orleans people love to eat, all of that. Them car, me stop there, I'm showing you some video. And if you see the type of car where the black people are drive, listen to me. Listen to me good. Me I talk about the pattern of my people. Whether Jamaican to American, we have a pattern people. It look like it's a black problem. So when I look on the type of vehicle where them on the park and type of what them drive people, hundreds of thousands of dollars what a machine. Black people drive them, you know. Black people drive them. And you'd be surprised when some of them carry the park. Some of them carry the park and people rent place, you know. You go to a rental property and see man have some nice car up in there. But a rent. This car not belong here. So this car belong at a home. I could see if you lose your home and if you end up in an apartment complex and your car come with you. But they're built from ground up. You're in an apartment complex and your car a luxury car, and if you broke down and if this pad gone, your car have a pay to fix your this pad. Simple stuff like that. Your tire blow to car, buy a tire on your Beamer. A Beamer you drive on Benz. What is wrong with the people? People may see it among us. People may see it at Oakland. They may go to Florida, I see it. They may go to New Orleans, I see it. No. In New Orleans, the people them love eat. Big up everybody in New Orleans, the black-owned business down there. But the food where they are selling in New Orleans, you got some gas station and some place and food are selling there. Guess who are selling food? They talk about the Some people sell food in New Orleans where a long line of people are going there all day, crowded. You have gas station and the man not buy no gas. The most thing we're selling there food, cook food. Me not talk about no burger and all them thing there. New Orleans in a heavy eating, cook food and them eat food people. Them are people that eat, them serious with them eating in New Orleans. Them they junk. Me see them people. So when we go in some of them places, people, guess who around them places? The Arab people, some people from the Middle East. And guess who them have in their cell and a cook? The black people them from New Orleans. So I said to myself, say, something's wrong here. Come here, reason a friend of mine, you know. I said, something is wrong here. New Orleans know what they want. Black people know the type of food they want. They know it's supposed to taste. But most of all, I see a lot of different people are handled with food. Same thing with Jamaica. And different people are handled with food. While the black man car park out there, so hundreds of thousands of dollars or $1 million. What a machine park on the front. Him dressed from him shoes to him hat. Whole heap of money, thousands of dollars in a clothes him a wear upon him body. Black man have to do that. And when they step out there, your hundreds of thousands of car, guess where you're going in and go and buy? You know, some man from the Middle East, we don't like you. They're not in you, them only in your money. Didn't I tell you that I went to the gas station the other day in a black community? And oh, the brother were in there from the Middle East. I know the man will say a word to me. I'm going to spend with you. I don't think the man even look for me. But I saw them treat black people because they know so the next black man now going to learn. I hear them that treat black people like a shit. They know so black people still are trickling and coming in your place. Most of we prefer to walk past another black man establishment and go to a different person's establishment. We see it, people. I'm going to New Orleans, we see the man with a nice ride. God bless their heart. Black people, colorful. Colorful, them like pretty stuff, they like expensive stuff. But look on it in reality. Look on it in reality. What are we doing with ourselves as black people? Are we winning?
Cannot be black and proud and niggas too. White folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night. The goal for us is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. You just looking like you winning. You ain't winning. Louis Vuitton is winning, Nike's winning, Armani is winning, Gucci's winning. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And if we do not fix this level of financial illiteracy, lots of reasons why we are at the bottom of every single economic statistic that matters.
People in the line, them and I tell them, man, we seems to want some stuff that we can't afford for us to look good among the blacks. We supposed to have the first of this span of black here. I mean, supposed to drive this, the first in my community. Nobody else now wear the shoes here, the handbag here. I'm here alone. I'm here alone. Selfish and bossy upon each other. We now look out for each other as black people. We look out for some other people. Right now, put some other people over ourselves. Right now, if we're going to some black business and black man treated the way or some people treat the Arab and the Indian when we see happen in America, yeah, so. Black people bypass their business, you know. No black man can't make any mistake they treat black people like come and see what we take from other people. Me tell us a couple nights ago, me tell us we're going to our black community, I'm going to the store, a gas station, to buy gas and water. And I felt disrespected. Me know when you come hug me up and kiss me because me I spend $1.50 a place. No, man, or $1.99 or 25 cents or 6 cents. Me don't care what me I spend it. Me know you hug me but show appreciation. Somebody come in an establishment for buy. It's like you don't see him. But me just I tell you, say, where them get that from? I saw them treat black people and black people still coming to their places. Why do better? Why treat the next black man better? I've been getting away with treating black people like dirt. Them still coming to my place. Me I wonder why we don't see more black-owned business people. All of New Orleans, I tell the people, we need to see more black-owned business. The black people, they might go to some other people for their food. And when I go to these establishments, guess who in there cook the food? Black people from New Orleans are cook food while the Arab them up front are collect all the money. When they look online all out the door, security, me got a place so security lock off the door, you know. Because the line out the door, you know, I tell you, New Orleans people eat food, you know, people. When we look security lock off the door outside, black people would have parked them nice ride out there. Pretty, dress good, pay expensive name brand. Guess what we are do? Well, Carlos, you know, we ain't got no money like that, man. You know, the black man, this and... We don't have to hear that no more, man. When are we going to stop complaining and push forward? And that's all we need to do, you know? Stop complaining and push forward. That's all black people never know. A long time there, I'm see what I go on, you know? Maybe in America a long time, I'm see what I go on. Let me tell you what to black people from Jamaica to here. We are too fast. We are moving too fast. We need to slow down. We are moving too fast as black people. We need to slow down like everybody else, man. Look on your landlord. Where you rent from? What kind of car him drive? The little Indian man or the little white man or the little Chinese man. Hey? When you see your landlord come in your apartment complex and walk around it, showing some other people, some contractor, he want to paint it up or he want to do something to the apartment complex. Have you ever seen a landlord come there yet? Or the person who manage the place? You ever see a landlord show up? What your landlord drive? The little Indian man, the little Chinese man, the little white man. How do they dress? The rich man in America, we see every day, how do they dress? The real rich people, the wealthy. How do they dress? Regular. Regular. But when you see the poor man, how the poor man dress to you people? You now go to Walmart, go buy no jeans pants. You mad? Jeans pants from where? Walmart where? You now go to Walmart, go buy no t-shirt. You mad? You mad? Walmart where? You got Walmart, make people don't say about Walmart clothes, they will cuss you out. If the price is over the top for black people, them don't want it, you know. You can have the best pair of Nike and you sell it for $20. The black man don't want it, you know, even when it's authentic and the real thing. Black man will pass it. You go put up some tennis shoes in your store, go sell it for $25, say the black people are coming there. Most of us don't come there. Because everything we do, after me have the most expensive, man, I bought this watch, man. This watch costs X amount. And we brag about it because the next black man cannot purchase it. But the white man and the Indian man, and them sell it to you. So your braggadocious yourself and I brag it to them, brag to them. People need to fix yourself. From Jamaica to the Caribbean to Africa to America where black people, the people me there long enough and me see it, you know, people. I've seen it, you know. Something wrong with it. Look on Jamaica now. It's a black country. We take all the land and give to Chinese when Jamaica don't have no land. We take our water, we give to Chinese. Why? Because of one man riches. Because of one man riches, everybody is supposed to suffer. Selfishness and boastfulness are kill we.
Look like some jugs lad host this, you know, man. You know, if I watch them movie, man, and see big jug lad, them kingpin. Walk. And then we go find out, say, non-Joes, one bro, God.
So when it comes to us, our sit have to be extravagant, bigger than the rest. No other black man can have it like we. No care that I made the first to do it. That's how black people are. So, how you think Burkina Faso President coming out, Ibrahim Traore? I like his stance and his view, how he deal with his people them, and I love him up for his people them. The coup and all that, I don't understand that. I don't live in a world where we have coup, we have democratic election in Jamaica. So I don't grow up on that. I do not understand the part. They will read, we don't understand. But what we understand is a part of integrity, honesty, decency, and love for his people in office. What we can understand, all the above we just mentioned a while ago, Ibrahim Traore, him don't reflect any of them the type of tendency as to want to get riches in house of be bigger than everybody in the community. This black man have a different plan for his people. And what I'm about to play for you right now, you're going to listen how this man have a plan for his people. This brother turned down his presidential salary. Remember a black man, you know. Remember black man will now miss a chance to do something or take something so he can stand up above the rest of black people. Where he can be the first to own this big house, the first to drive this car, the first to wear a watch like this, the first to wear a suit like this. That's black man all day long. Ibrahim Traore refused his presidential salary. He's only living off his salary as a captain of the army. The president dash a big old money and get the chance to push up his chest above many black people who are poor in Burkina Faso. Just like Jamaica. Poor, but such man no care.
Look like some jugs lad house this in a man. You know if I watch them movie man and see big jug lad them kingpin. Walk. And then me go find out say non-Jews, one bro God. Clad.
So black people, that's how we stay all day. We love to show off, we sit up a bit bigger. Nobody is scared be like me. But imagine Ibrahim Traore is living off a soldier salary. Think about a soldier in the army. Think about a JDF soldier. Think about, can you see Andrew Ones strip himself of the salary we get instead of into that he give himself 300% raise? Look at the difference. The typical black man take from your people, steal from your people, lie to your people, and choose others over your people. Not thinking, all that think about riches. Think about Ibrahim Traore. The man gave up his presidential salary. All the accolades, all the trimmings will come with presidential life. Car, everything. He refused. Because he's not coming up with script. He's coming up to help his people. Now listen to this plan the man have for Africa. You see, both the slave can't help we. We have problems from the Caribbean to Africa to America. Anyway, black people there. We need to start reprogram our mind. We need a reset. We need to start reprogram our mind. Let me play this again before we move on.
Cannot be black and proud and niggas too. White folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night. The goal for us is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. You just looking like you winning. You ain't winning. Louis Vuitton is winning, Nike's winning, Armani is winning, Gucci's winning. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor. And the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And if we do not fix this level of financial illiteracy, lots of reasons why we are at the bottom of every single economic statistic that matters.
Some people, like they say, we are moved too fast for our own good as black people. Yes, we are. Too fast. We need to slow it down. Everybody else move slower than we, you know. And we want to move fast, man. That's all we are do. That's all we are do. Yes, we understand that slavery was yesterday, but come on, we ain't stupid. We have lived long enough so we can balance this thing out. We need to look at ourselves and be conscious and more humble. Cut out the selfishness and the boastfulness. That is what hurting us. And no love in our heart. Listen, Burkina Faso president, the love him having them heart. For his people. I'm going to play it for you. If you guys are here loud and clear, you let me know you're here loud and clear. This video is not for everyone. You have to have a certain level of consciousness.
Burkina Faso declared every inch of its land state-owned and banned foreigners from ever claiming it again. But what shook the world wasn't that decision. It was where this land is going next. No one saw it coming. So, what exactly does Traore plan to do with all this land? Let's find out. It wasn't a protest. It wasn't a coup. It wasn't even televised. Yet,
hold on. Wade McDonald, the first time you come on the platform, you need to do your research about this platform before you come up and come talk, okay? Do your research about my platform. And first you come here. Let's learn, man. Come on, man. Do research about this platform. See, look where you comment. You see your comment? You see your comment, family? Look where you comment if it make no sense with what I do right now. You see saying that make no sense? Because you don't know this platform. You just are come. Welcome on board.
Burkina Faso declared every inch of its land state-owned and banned foreigners from ever claiming it again. But what shook the world wasn't that decision. It was where this land is going next. No one saw it coming. So, what exactly does Traoré plan to do with all this land? Let's find out. It wasn't a protest. It wasn't a coup. It wasn't even televised. Yet in one stroke of a pen, Burkina Faso did what entire continents have tiptoed around for decades. It reclaimed the ground beneath its own feet. Not with slogans, not with diplomats, but with a law. A hard, irreversible law that redefined ownership itself. The new policy is radical, not because it's aggressive, but because it's honest. It admits what no one in global politics wants to say out loud. That African land.
When I hear good people, let me know so I hear it clear. When I hear it clear, me figure a different way if I make gonna hear it. All right?
In its current form, has become a currency, a tool for those who don't live on it, work it, or understand it to profit from it.
Respect.
So Traoré's government ended the charade. The reform states, all land, urban or rural, belongs to the Burkina Faso state, not to landlords, not to old colonial families,
Listen.
and certainly not to international developers waiting to build golf resorts on sacred soil.
Listen.
From now on, the government holds the title and the people hold the power to access it, not through purchase, but through national belonging. This isn't privatization. It's a break from it. In practical terms, foreigners can no longer buy land, not now, not ever. They can apply for leases, of course. 18 years if short-term, 99 if strategic, but the ground itself, untouchable. And here's what makes it even more revolutionary. Burkina Faso citizens aren't just the preferred buyers, they're the only buyers. This isn't just about foreign companies. It's also about confronting the quiet inequality within the nation's borders, where the wealthier elites could hoard thousands of hectares, while peasant farmers beg for a plot the size of a blanket. Now, every citizen has an equal claim, not to ownership, but to opportunity. And opportunity is the point. Because for too long, land reform has meant doing circles, passing papers, hosting conferences, issuing declarations no one enforces. What Burkina Faso has done is remove the middleman. The state becomes the custodian, not the auctioneer. Because when land is treated like a product, it always ends up in the hands of those who have the most money, not the most need. And that's exactly what's happened across the continent. Massive plots sold to foreign entities for...
Want to try Ozempic?
It's the continent. Massive plots sold to foreign entities for peanuts, while locals are pushed out of their villages for development they never asked for.
You hear that?
The new law repeals the Apartheid-era Expropriation Act of 1975 and sets out how organs of the state may acquire land in public interest for varied reasons.
This law shuts that pipeline down. Cold. Now imagine you're a multinational company eyeing West African territory. You've got money. You've got influence. But you're told, no matter what you offer, you will never own this land.
Yeah.
That's not just inconvenient. It's paradigm shattering. The business world calls it hostile, but Burkina Faso calls it healing. A return to something more sacred than legal contracts. The bond between people and land that existed long before colonization turned African soil into an international commodity. And if you think this is just about farmland, think again. It's about urban expansion, mining zones, energy corridors, forests, rivers, sacred grounds, everything. Because in the eyes of this new law, land isn't just a resource, it's a trust. And that trust has been broken for far too long. Of course, critics have already sharpened their knives. Some call it reckless, a policy that will scare away investment. Others call it unconstitutional, as if constitutions written under colonial pressure have any moral high ground. But Traoré doesn't flinch, because he knows the real threat isn't that capital will flee. It's that people might finally stay. Stay on their farms, stay in their communities, stay connected to the land without fear that it'll be taken, flipped, or sold out from under them. And once people stay, they build. That's the quiet genius of this reform. It isn't anti-development. It's just anti-predatory development.
You saw we have leader when a bossy and want it all and selfish. And that a kill we, you know? When one man want it all to live on the mountain above everybody, have 100 and a truck in the backside mine, half shore account property all over the land, gas station, fast.
Look like some jugs lad house this, you know, man. You know, if I watch them movie, man, and see big jug lad, them kingpin. Walk. And then me go find out, say, non-Jews, one bro, God. Clad.
And when they talk, sometimes black people say, a bad mind, a bad mind. Me work hard for me. Look here. Bad mind way. Think about what we are doing. It's like we not take no talk. We just have to do the same thing because we're bossy and we're selfish. Yeah? And that is what hurting black people from the Caribbean to Africa. We lead and them become bossy also. I want to believe, say, them come from us, you know. We as black, and we them come from, you know. Bossy. Pay name brand. Car, clothes, house. Why Burkina Faso president is not like that? Why him not collecting big old presidential salary? Why him not go behind the people and back and take money from the Chinese and sell them out? 2 years him took to build him hospital, 17 buildings. 2 years. Chinese walk through the front door. You build your stuff, you get paid. Chinese cannot own land in this man country. When you have a boasty, selfish, greedy leader, this can happen. Let's continue.
By taking land off the market, Traoré is forcing a new conversation, one where investment must adapt to local needs, not the other way around. And this isn't just a political gesture. It's a strategic one. With the state holding all land, national planning becomes coherent. Infrastructure doesn't have to weave around private estates. Projects aren't blocked by absentee landlords. The map can be redrawn to serve people, not profits. Still, this is only the beginning, because changing the law is one thing. Changing generations of exploitation, mismanagement, and poverty, that's a different war altogether. The land has been reclaimed.
Reset.
But now it must be reborn. Reconnected with those who were pushed off it. Redistributed to those who've never touched it. And repurposed for those who've only ever seen it as survival, never as power. The paperwork is signed, the declarations made, the headlines have been written. But land alone does not liberate people, because land without support is just a struggle on a wider surface. So now that Burkina Faso has drawn the line, claimed its soil, and secured its sovereignty, the harder work begins, putting that land in the hands of people who can grow, feed, build, and survive with it. And Traoré's government knows that. This isn't about headlines. It's about harvests. The state isn't just locking land away for symbolic victory. It's opening it up with strategy. Reclaiming land is only phase 1. Redistributing it with purpose, that's phase 2. And this time, it's not the elite who get first dibs, it's the forgotten majority. The first in line, small farmers. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. Burkina Faso's countryside is filled with subsistence farmers, men and women who've worked the land for generations without ever owning it, renting from absentee landlords or multinational firms who treated food as profit margins. Now the state is handing out plots to these families, not as a gift, but as a restoration. And not just plots, but partnerships. Access to state-run agricultural programs, collective water systems, training on irrigation, crop rotation, and climate-resilient farming. Because without the right tools, land is just dirt. The second wave, women's cooperatives. In most African societies, women do the bulk of agricultural labor, yet often own nothing. Traoré's reform flips that imbalance by directly allocating land to women's groups for farming, livestock, and even agro-processing. It's not just empowerment, it's an economic design. When women control land, entire communities stabilize. Food security increases, income diversifies, and education rates rise. That's not theory, that's a fact. Then come the youth. Burkina Faso's population is young, half under 17. For decades, this youth bulge has been treated as a crisis. Too many mouths, too few jobs. But what if it's an asset? The government thinks so. Young people are being offered state-leased farmland tied to national employment programs, but not just for farming, for agro-entrepreneurship. That means tech-based irrigation, seed development, vertical farming, solar drying, and storage businesses. This is how Burkina Faso turns rural migration into rural innovation. Instead of pouring into cities for dead-end jobs, young people can now return to the land with dignity and profit. But here's the brilliance. Foreign investors are still welcome, on Burkina Faso's terms. Companies that want to grow crops or build factories must now apply for long-term leases through state channels. And their projects must align with national priorities, not export obsession. That means no more grabbing thousands of acres to grow European flowers or avocado exports for foreign markets. The focus is now on food sovereignty, feeding Burkina Faso first. Crops that were once planted for profit are now being replaced with crops for nutrition, stability, and self-reliance.
I earn a living by
stability and self-reliance. That's a strategic pivot few in the West want to acknowledge, because it means Africa is no longer feeding the world at its own expense. And that reorientation isn't only agricultural, it's industrial. Because the land reform isn't just about who grows what. It's also about where things are processed, packaged, and sold. Under the new economic vision, land allocated for industrial zones will prioritize Burkina Faso-owned businesses and regional partners, not foreign monopolies. That means local tomato paste factories instead of Italian imports, local grain mills instead of Chinese supply chains. It's a full circle plan. Grow locally, process locally, consume locally. And yet, this isn't isolationism. It's economic discipline. The country isn't closing its doors. It's simply deciding who walks through them, when, and why. And perhaps one of the most overlooked victories of this new land system is something deceptively simple: clarity. When land is centrally managed, when records are national, and when ownership is off the market, disputes drop. Legal confusion disappears. Fights over boundaries, title claims, inheritance feuds, all of it begins to fade. That means fewer court cases, fewer evictions, fewer bribes, and more confidence for farmers, builders, entrepreneurs. Because you can't grow food, build homes, or raise cattle on land you fear you might lose tomorrow.
Me understand what you say, Wade McDonald. You know, we might come off away, but, you know, hey, he's a man for righteousness. Me a Rasta man pick me, you know. So, me a man that deal with righteousness. A lot of people tell me, say, me are the first person here, but I mean, introduce Burkina Faso to a lot of people, you know, and Ibrahim Traore, you know, on my platform, you know. And we are say, man, that me first start playing, man. Me the first blogger start playing, you know. Yes, man, me a Rasta man pick me, you know, no righteousness, more have to see for my country. And man, when I brag and boast, and that get me, you know, and that get me, you know. Every politician want money. Black politician want what? Money. Weird. Money they want, you know. Them come in, they must have the biggest house with a PNP, with a labor right. Them come in maga, them left fat. Them come in their constituency. When them done, them own whole heap of land in their constituency, just like we elect them to take over the land and get rich boy. Yeah. Them think they must stop, man. This man not take no pay. He not think about nothing else more than the people. Them think about it. He not take no pay. Just give him. Just think about Andrew Honest living off of a soldier's salary. Just make that thinking. That Andrew Honest not take a big old 300% raise. Instead of the man take him $9 million when he used to get. The man give himself $28 million. Raise it up, family. And then him alone. Black leaders from the Africa to the Caribbean have bossy slave them. That is our problem. That's where the story I come from, you know. We all are the same people. Whether Jamaica, Africa, Caribbean, and even America.
Look like some jugs lad house this, you know, man. You know, if I watch them movie, man, and see big jug lad, them kingpin. Walk. And then me go find out, say, non-Jews, one bro, God.
So, you know, like me say, me not in the part with the coup and all that. Because we never man come see that in Jamaica where we have no coup. But what we can see is a good brother with a good heart. We're honest. We're talking about integrity in the office. And that's what want people. That's why we say, down with corruption, and you see Jamaica go up. Down with corruption. When they have $100 billion out of Jamaica unaccounted for every year. Think about it. $100 million just put on tennis shoes and walk off. 100 billion with a B. Think about that. Just think about it. I'm gonna walk about here like we're poor. And we had so we stay and the road them bad and the zinc fence them can't come down and the dirt road and we can't do better because Jamaica and America. I would just program myself to think like that and better can't come call us. I saw the thing set, man, you know, the thing go. I saw it. Not set some man. Not set some man. What Burkina Faso president do? He might expose criminal politicians who are black worldwide. Right now, he might the only leader supposed to feel good. Trump tariff and all them things, they're not touching. He's supposed to look and laugh and say, you know what, me see this coming. That's why I tell you, say, the man see the vision. He get the vision. He saw this coming, man, prepare himself. And he take him not depend on nobody food. No China food. No Western food. He man saw. Wagwan right now. I see Jamaica they on edge and a fret. Finger in their mouth and bite off their fingernail. I wonder what Trump are going to say tomorrow. Because best believe the bang around with Trump and Jamaica not over yet on the Chinese thing, you know. You don't start yet, man. Just wait. You don't start yet, man.
Faso is betting that security over soil leads to security over life. Of course, there are still obstacles. Infrastructure is weak. Climate change is real. Corruption won't vanish overnight. But for the first time in decades, the fundamentals are being reset. Because in this system, land isn't a luxury or a favor. It's right, a responsibility, a beginning. And now that Burkina Faso has taken these first bold steps, the rest of the continent is watching. From Nairobi to Lagos, from Harare to Algiers, leaders are asking the same quiet question. Could this be the model? Could land finally return to those who live on it, not those who speculate from abroad? And if so, what happens when a movement like this spreads? If you think Burkina Faso is acting alone, you're missing the bigger picture. Because this new land law didn't come from a vacuum. It didn't fall from the sky or spring up overnight. It came from a continent already on edge, already waking up, already rising. And at the center of that awakening, South Africa. In 2024, land reform roared back into South African politics with a fire the world hadn't seen since apartheid collapsed.
Hey.
And this time, it wasn't just internal. It became global warfare. President Ramaphosa's government reignited its push for land expropriation without compensation, challenging century-old property laws and daring to put black land reclamation front and center. White landowners pushed back, Western investors panicked, and then came Donald Trump. In a move that stunned African leaders, Trump threatened to cut U.S. aid to South Africa if it continued seizing white-owned farmland. He called it a land grab, accused South Africa of racism. He even tried dragging Elon Musk into it, turning land reform into a transatlantic battlefield. But South Africa didn't blink. It doubled down, passed new motions, expanded the land court, and launched pilot expropriation projects in 2025 without paying compensation. Was it messy? Yes. Was it perfect? Number. But it was brave, and it lit a fuse. Because elsewhere in Africa, leaders saw something they hadn't seen in decades, a government standing up to the West and refusing to apologize for reclaiming its soil. And Burkina Faso was watching. When Traoré moved to nationalize all land in early 2025, it wasn't just a bold new direction. It was a direct continuation of what South Africa had started. Only this time, there was no parliament deadlock, no constitutional debate, no American ambassador is holding up investment deals. Just a law, one law, and the ground beneath millions of people changed overnight. Burkina Faso isn't doing something different. It's doing something faster. While South Africa fought in the courts, Burkina Faso acted on the streets. While Ramaphosa battled Trump's threats with diplomacy, Traoré answered with policy. And where South Africa hesitated, Burkina Faso accelerated. But this isn't about competition. This is a continental relay, a handoff between giants and underdogs, between seasoned democracies and rising nationalist states. Because both countries, despite their differences, are now fighting the same war, the war to make the African land African again. And now, it's no longer a South African debate. It's becoming an African doctrine. From Namibia to Kenya, conversations are changing. Young leaders are citing Burkina Faso in student forums. Activists are referencing South Africa's defiance in court petitions. Landless farmers are asking a new question. If they can do it, why not us? Of course, the fight looks different in each country. South Africa is dealing with historic wealth, strong institutions, and international pressure. Burkina Faso is recovering from years of instability, economic isolation, and military transition. But the ideology is now shared. That land is not a commodity. That ownership must serve sovereignty. That foreign pressure is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to move faster. And that's why this moment matters. Because what South Africa faced in 2024, global condemnation, investor panic, Trump's threats, Burkina Faso now faces in 2025. Different language, same tone, different president, same empire. And yet the resistance is growing. What began as one country's internal policy is becoming a continental strategy. And if it spreads, the foundations of Africa's post-colonial economy could collapse and rebuild all at once. So, no, Burkina Faso didn't invent this revolution, but it refined it, accelerated it, localized it. And now that the baton has been passed and the fire is spreading, the question is no longer if land reform will define Africa's future, but how far will it go? Will the continent stand together or be picked off one by threats, sanctions, and silence? The moment a nation in Africa takes back control of its land, the air shifts. You can almost hear it. The discomfort in the boardrooms of London, the panic in Brussels, the threats whispered through diplomatic cables from Washington to Nairobi. It's a pattern as old as the flag on the embassy wall. Every time Africans assert ownership over their soil, someone in the West claims it's a threat to stability. But here's what's changed. No one's listening anymore. Burkina Faso didn't pass its land reform law to win applause. It didn't nationalize its soil because it wanted to provoke sanctions. It did it because the old model was broken beyond repair. For decades, African countries were taught to play the game. Stay open to foreign investment, follow IMF advice, sell your raw materials, lease your land to overseas partners, and in return, get trickles of aid and pats on the head. But all that did was turn African land into a global commodity, one traded between corporations while the very people who live on it were pushed to the margins. When Ibrahim Traoré signed the land decree into law, he wasn't just changing legal language, he was breaking that pattern once and for all. Of course, the reaction was swift. Western media called it reckless. Think tanks called it dangerous. Some whispered that Burkina Faso would soon face economic isolation. Development contracts were paused. Embassy officials began hinting at future consequences. But Traoré didn't back down because he's not alone. He's not the first African leader to be threatened for refusing to sell out his people, and he won't be the last. South Africa found itself in a similar storm. After reviving its campaign to expropriate land without compensation, a move meant to finally undo the apartheid legacy that left millions of Black South Africans landless, the backlash was immediate and fierce. Now, Burkina Faso is carrying that same fire, but with fewer resources and more urgency. What the West fears most isn't that one country reclaims its land. What it fears is that others will follow. Mali and Niger have already joined Burkina Faso in pushing for collective economic independence, building a confederal bank to escape French monetary control. Zimbabwe, long punished for its land reclamation policy, is now being studied again, not as a cautionary tale, but as an early warning of where the battle would eventually go. Across the continent, more leaders are realizing that sanctions are not the end of the road. They're just another chapter in the price of sovereignty. Sanctions are used to crush African economies. Today, they expose Western fear. When Burkina Faso was cut off from aid, It began funding domestic rice production and reindustrializing its supply chains. When the West froze diplomatic ties, the country strengthened its regional bonds. And when corporations threatened to leave, the government smiled because the land would remain. And now it finally belongs in Burkina Faso hands. Make no mistake, the road ahead will be hard. Foreign influence doesn't disappear quietly. There will be pressure, covert campaigns, and economic sabotage disguised as market reactions. But African leaders are learning to spot these tactics. And the people are watching. They remember what it looked like when their governments bowed to foreign demands. They remember what it felt like when their land was sold off for mining contracts and sugar plantations, while villages were displaced without warning. This time, they're not just observers, they are the movement. The West can apply sanctions, suspend trade, and withdraw envoys. But this generation of African leadership has calculated the risk. The real danger isn't being isolated from Europe. The real danger is being estranged from your people. And the leaders who understand that, from Ouagadougou to Pretoria, are building something stronger than alliances. They're building legitimacy. Africa's era of quiet compliance is over. The message is clear. You can sanction us, demonize us, destabilize us, but you can no longer stop us. The time for hesitation is gone. The continent is rising not with rage, but with resolve. Do you think they can scare Traore? Will African nations be stopped? Let us know in the comments section what will happen if more African nations join Burkina Faso. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
So, this is what I want the people. I love you, man. It just want Black people in a bossy, man. Too goddamn bossy and show off, man. We're going to office like Black people just sit down and say, boy, when we go to office, I'm going to get a house, 17 bedroom, bigger than everybody else. When we get in no more 20 gas stations throughout the country, 20 fast food joint, more a big account, peer thieving and hiding and hard type of rigmarole when it comes to Black people. Nah, man, that boastiness and that show off in our culture. That's what we talk about. Oakland and New Orleans and Florida earlier. To make you know, say, it's just something in our culture to be boastful and show off. And it's like when we get a chance and we're going to leadership role, it's like we don't remember nobody with us all about to self and that's how we bring there. I know we can go to university, not to come back and help the ones that were less educated about you. It's about to use education, go around the people them, rob from them, and get fat and richer for them. And it happened for decades, people. And if you're looking at it, both sides play with like that. Like me, I say, hopefully when Mark Gordon come in, he changed that, man. That man come work for the people, man. We don't want a boy come get land, man, come in here constituency. Think about that. Politician come in here constituency. And when boy done, boy end up with so much land. Can the people them, and you want end up with so much land. Nah, man. I too much boast here show off a go on as a family. Me say, yeah, me say, man, me see it among us in a Jamaica. Me go up on social media and see it. Me see some artists get a chance to come to America. And never take the boast in this way a whole another level. Me say, Kuya, what kind of nonsense is this? They look so childish and juvenile and stupid. Like they just get a chance to come to America and a show off of this. Chill, man. Chill as Black people. Enjoy your goodies. Live your life, man. You know, enjoy your hard. Don't stop sending them the type of message to the youths, them. You have to lift up the Black community, the people. You have to lift up the Black community. It's not like, oh, I'm not busy with no money, none. Or my money. Nah, man. Some man need to be told. Because they don't know nothing. Some people, you have to tell them, you know, how bad it look, you know. You mess up the rest of the community. Because the young youth, them look on and think, say, I saw it go. And it's cool to, you go up on TikTok, then you see young youth, them show up same way. They get their little TikTok money. They start buying their little car. All of a sudden, they start war. TikTok are dead off. They start show off and floss. It's like a dog eat dog stuff. It's not like a, you know, I want to say, go on, we're better than that, people. We're better than that. We're better than that, people. So, all them things that boastful and show off people, Black people, We have that. Me say me see it. Me see it. Me see it, people are foreign. Me see it in the Caribbean. Me see it with Africans. Me see it with us. Me see it in the United States. It's us, the people, the culture of us. So, me I go to Voice of Africa. I'm going to talk about the future of Africa Wagwan and some people, because, you know, we have to drop some knowledge boy up to the ones that are in the back when I listen, you know?
Across our beloved continent.
You know?
Welcome back, family, to Voice of Africa, your sanctuary for stories that ignite pride, hope, and action across our beloved continent. Today, we're stepping into a moment that will be etched in history. Burkina Faso, a nation once defined by dust and struggle, is now a beacon of what's possible when vision, leadership, and unity collide. But before we dive into this triumph, let me pause and speak from the heart to you, the soul of this channel. Every time you hit subscribe, leave a comment, or share our videos, you're not just watching, you're amplifying Africa's voice. To our members, those who've joined this journey with monthly support, you're the wind beneath our wings. Because of you, we've grown from a whisper to a roar, telling stories that reshape how the world sees Africa. But family, we're just getting started. To keep bringing you these groundbreaking reports, we need you. Have you seen that golden super thanks button under the video? That's your direct line to fueling our mission. Whether it's 2 or 20, every sparkle you send helps us travel deeper, dig harder, and shine brighter. Today, we celebrate Burkina Faso. But tomorrow, with your support, we'll spotlight another nation rising. Let's show the world how Africa uplifts its own. Now, let's journey into the heart of this revolution. The scene shifts to a time lapse of parched earth, morphing into fertile fields. The host's voice grows animated, their hands painting the story in the air. Picture this, a land where the sun once scorched dreams into dust, where farmers knelt in dry soil, praying for rain that rarely came. But look at Burkina Faso now. 2,000 hectares of desert in Sanri Bouloudem are being reborn as a lush, green Eden. How? A 12 billion CFA francs investment from Kuwait's Arab Economic Development Fund, paired with President Ibrahim Traore's ironclad vision. This isn't just irrigation. It's a declaration of independence. For decades, Africa imported food while our own soil slept. But Burkina Faso is rewriting the script. Solar-powered drip systems, AI-driven soil sensors, and water recycling tech are turning impossible into I'm possible. Let's break it down. Israel once transformed 60% desert into a global farming titan, and Burkina Faso is mirroring that miracle. Kuwait, drawing from Israel's playbook, didn't just send money, they sent knowledge. Imagine, pipes snaking through fields, delivering water drop by drop to plant roots, slashing waste by 70%. Hydroponic farms growing tomatoes in water, not soil. Solar grids powering it all under the relentless African sun. This is innovation warfare, and poverty is losing. But why does this matter? It's about sovereignty. When Burkina Faso harvests 40,000 tons of crops annually, it's not just food, it's freedom. No more begging for aid, no more empty markets. This project will create 8,000 jobs, many for women and youth, the architects of tomorrow. 5 billion CFA francs in revenue will stay here, building schools, clinics, and roads. This is how empires of self-reliance are born. The screen cuts to a farmer, her hands cradling a basket overflowing with vibrant vegetables. Her smile is a sunrise. Meet Aissata, a mother of 3 from Bouloudem. Before, the rains decided if my children ate, she says. Now water flows like hope. My sons will be engineers, my daughter a doctor.
Wow.
This land is our future. Stories like Aissata's are why we fight. And none of this would exist without partnerships. Kuwait didn't just write a check, they shared wisdom. As Burkina Faso's finance minister, Dr. Abubakar Nakabo declared, This is the seed from which abundance will grow. But let's geek out on the tech. Israel's drip irrigation is genius. Tiny hoses feed water straight to roots, saving every precious drop. Kuwait's hydroponics, pure magic.
Look at the man I use Israel, Kuwait, China. What we use Israel for do? What we use China for do? Look what we do now, man. Look what Jamaica use them for do. We use Israel for spy on the people them, not to keep them rich boy and them political and them oligarch friend accountable. Yeah? We use China to get politicians rich. We don't have a training program where Jamaicans are being trained around the Chinese them. Yeah? When politicians get a bag of money for the Chinese them, because Chinese in Jamaica, Chinese come through the back door. In a Burkina Faso, them come through the front door. Why me say that? Them now go behind, this one now go behind the people them back and take a bag of money for the Chinese them. So them don't know bed with him, that's why my hospital could be finished and completed in 2 years. How long we have built a hospital in Jamaica? All I hear say the money go up. In Jamaica, it seems as if the Jamaican government and the Chinese them have some secret deal go on. We don't know about down Cornwall Regional Hospital where the money go through it, gone somewhere else what we don't know about. But the money now go to the hospital. Because when a Burkina Faso, them can get to build them an hospital. 17 buildings, yeah, in 2 years. And in a normal hospital, you talk about a university where medical students come learn and a hospital where I give medical care for the region. You see what I say? Come on, man, something right us up. Because Chinese in Jamaica don't come through the right door. A politician benefit from Chinese sitting while going to Jamaica while the people them suffer and oppress, kill our own business. You think this man is going to give Chinese unfair advantage over the people like tax break, duty-free imports, give them water, we'll give them land and give them water. Look on film level. Remember, you know, in a Chinese pocket, you know, them come to the front door of film country. But look on Jamaica. Greed I do it, man. Selfishness.
Plants thrive in nutrient-rich water, no soil needed. Burkina Faso's fusion of these systems, powered by solar energy, is a masterclass in sustainability. And here's the kicker. AI sensors monitor soil 24/7.
Listen to that.
Texting farmers when crops thirst.
What?
This isn't your grandfather's farming. It's farming 2.0.
What?
Yet the real victory is unity. When Burkina Faso's Minister of Agriculture stood beside Kuwait's delegation, pens in hand, it wasn't just a deal, it was a pact between brothers.
With the YouTube.
Africa's soil is rich, but our hands were empty, said Minister Alassane Guiré. Today, we hold the tools to feed generations. And the numbers shouted. 40,000 tons of crops, 8,000 jobs, villages electrified by purpose. This is how deserts bloom. But wait, let's rewind. How did Kuwait and Israel become desert farming icons?
Listen.
Decades ago, their lands were barren myths. Kuwait, reliant on imports, turned seawater into rivers through desalination. Israel, with its Negev desert, invented drip irrigation and now exports strawberries to Europe. Their secret? Waste not, want not. Israel recycles 90% of its wastewater for farms. Kuwait's greenhouses run on AI. These nations proved deserts aren't death sentences, they're blank canvases.
Wow.
Now Burkina Faso joins this pantheon. President Traoré's rallying cry, think big, act boldly, isn't just rhetoric. It's a blueprint. By 2025, these 2,000 hectares will be a food fortress. Storage silos will rise, roads will connect farms to markets, and training centers will turn farmers into tech-savvy agripreneurs. This isn't a handout, it's a hand-up. But let's zoom out. Why should you care? Because Burkina Faso's win is Africa's win.
Yes.
When one nation rises, it pulls others up. Imagine Nigeria's arid north blooming, Somalia's plains yielding harvests, Sudan's deserts feeding millions. This is the domino effect of hope, and it starts with you. Yes, you watching right now. Every time you share this video, you plant a seed of inspiration. Every super thanks fuels our next report. Together, we're not just telling stories, we're scripting history. As the camera pans over Burkina Faso's new green horizon, the host's voice softens, thick with emotion. Family, this is more than a success story. It's a prophecy. Burkina Faso is proving that deserts can't kill dreams, that poverty isn't permanent, that when Africa unites, we don't just survive, we thrive. But the journey's just begun. Kenya's tech revolution, Ghana's solar surge, Rwanda's innovation hubs, they're all chapters in our epic. So let's keep writing. Smash that like button. Let's hit 50,000 likes to show Burkina Faso the world is cheering. Share this video with someone who needs this hope. And if you're ready to be a part of this movement, tap join below to become a member or send a super thanks. Every contribution is a brick in the foundation of Africa's renaissance. As the sun sets over Burkina Faso's fields, remember this: the same soil that bore struggle is now birthing triumph. And as long as we stand together, farmers, innovators, dreamers, the harvest will never end. Subscribe, hit the bell, and join us tomorrow as we journey to Kenya.
People, it's alarming the amount of stuff project that everybody has started, people. The amount of project the man do. The man lift up him country from bootstring. The man may I watch out some video when they pave road at Burkina Faso. To some place where never see road yet, you know. You hear the man say, instead of the people them come from the country, come at the city, come look, work, dead end jobs, come pile up in the city. He might bring city to them. He might bring the road to them, make them can strive in them rural community. Them not have to run come a city, come bungle up and dead end jobs. Me say we need somebody who love Jamaican people and not thinking about themselves. From a band, politician coming there to get rich. And on the line, I tell you people, both sides just look for me as a meal ticket. That's why them not do nothing, you know. That's why they have to come around every 4 years in a campaign, you know. That's why them do what them do in a campaign. Because them not do nothing for we, for the country, to lift up the youth them. That's why them come with care package and all them things there. Both sides guilty of that. Look on it, good people. From a band till now. Both sides guilty of the circus. Every time election campaign come, they give away money, the care package. I know them know so we need 2 plyboard and 2 sheet of zinc and 1 bag of cement. I know them know so we need some fertilizer and some feed and some few chicken. I know them know that. Every 4 or 5 years, both sides come around and they play us like that. Low level achievement. And we supposed to grin teeth. That's why I talk to the brother on my platform today when we talk about the pipe where the prime minister walk around and I open up, put on a bow and a simple stuff like a pipe. That is low level achievement. These guys supposed to go to school. Why them keeping the people and brain in a swamp? What it is about a pipe that require a politician to spend how much money, security, all type of stuff, the drive, go turn on a little pipe. Nah, man, make National Water Commission go turn on the pipe, man. Go for your son, man. From your boy, I promise road and water. I know a patch a little piece of road. We have to go there and put it on a page like that is some high level type of achievement. No, I don't keep the people in that state of mind. Make you believe say that is no high level achievement. That is bullcrap. Politicians are go upon equipment where they pan road are fixing up. Politicians have no license in no safety gear, not at all. Them jump on equipment and see them a drive equipment and somebody have videotape them to put them on camera. For what? Forget what? Pat on your shoulder, forget a epaulet, forget a stripe. Move from yourself. Me no want no politician to come look no praises and no glory. Have a fixing no road and water. People are pay taxes just for that. Road, water, security, health. Those are the basic, you know. Why people pay taxes in Jamaica? Well, Carlos said not pay taxes. Well, what them pay when they buy them chicken mac and them flour? When they buy the local oil and the gas? When people go buy them grocery, you mean say they don't pay taxes? Jamaica pays some of the highest taxes in the world. Did you know so gas at Jamaica more dearer than up here? Phone bill at Jamaica more expensive than up here? Light bill more expensive than up here? Water bill expensive than up here? Every goddamn thing grocery. You got Jamaica with $200 in any one of them supermarket there. $200. Now take that $200 and go to a store up here. And see if you not take out more stuff. So don't say Jamaica people don't pay taxes. Jamaica people are overtaxed. No chance. Let me show you Jamaica people are overtaxed, over the tax. You buy a private car in Jamaica. You say I raise 2 chicken up here, yeah, that try all cutting. You buy 1 dozen chicken. So you go down at the seed store, go buy 1/2 dozen bag of feed and 1 3 bag of feed. You throw it in your car, you come home. Police see that in your car, a ticket you get, you know. No, your private car must have a green plate. No, your private car doing private business. You take your own private car, with that cement you buy and load up in your car from front seat, back seat, trunk anyway, are your private car. You build your house. You should have been able to go buy some cement or anything in your car. Your private car, you know, sell cement out of your car or back feeding. You know, use the car to hustle. Why is it? They have to turn it into green plate. Commercial carriage. Remember the commercial stuff me I doing in my car. My car are private. Me I buy me feed for go my yard, and me I buy a couple bag of cement for go my yard, and my private use. Car I do car work. Now my car can't hold, so I go buy a pickup truck. Pickup truck I do pickup work. Now me raise me have a bigger coop now. And me have whole pot chicken in there. So instead of I buy 5 bag of feed, now me need a 50 bag of feed. So me get me pickup truck now. And remember, you know, and I sell feed from a pickup truck. How you guys understand, you know? We are not selling feed from our pickup truck. Pickup truck I do private business. I run from point A to point B. Truck I do what truck supposed to do. And I sell out of the truck. Let me show you the difference. If you have a pickup truck and I sell food out of it, like you know, there's some people from country, Southfield, all in place, country people, St. Elizabeth people, they have a truck and they sell food out of it, they have scale and drive and stop. That require a green plate. If you have a truck and you have an ice box in it, you sell fish out of it, you drive and stop. Green plate. If you have a truck and a bulla van, bread van, green plate. If you have a truck and you hang around furniture store, appliances store to get a job to take somebody's stuff home, green plate. But not me, I'm a private car or a private pickup truck family. This pickup truck is not the truck where I sell bulla and bun. It's not the truck where I sell fish out of it. Truck I do truck work. So I'm showing you how the overlay tax at Jamaica because the green plate require you to get fitness twice a year. But your white plate, you only need fitness once a year. So see there? They might dip it down the pocket. Just like that. So every move a man make a Jamaica, make a joke you. So when it comes to the argument about Jamaica not pay tax, good God, man. Go to Jamaica and go to the supermarket. May I beg anybody with upper so. When you go to Jamaica, go in a supermarket with a family member. Don't just sit down here and say, go in a supermarket, go buy this and that. No, man, go with them. Accompany them down there. And see how much what you get with the little money. Give them $200. Just that. $200. Let's give a Jamaican $200 when they go to Jamaica. Say, go and go buy. And bring back my receipt. Because you want to see everything. And look for the 2 little scandal bag will come out of the place. You can't touch in a 2 finger. Everything in Jamaica is high. When the government tell us, say, them no taxes and me, they live right, them believe it is, man. Boy, I can't believe that some people so stupid. How you going to believe that labor right? When the price of bread is totally different from when such man did come in there. The price of flour, rice, and sugar, the price gone up, don't it? So how you going to listen to a man say no taxes? But all the price them gone. Look on gas, look on electricity, look on water, look on cost of living. 10 years ago when this man they on the opposition side when they talk about the basket and the basket, this and that. Things are different. Things are different. Can you buy the basket where such man talk about with the same money that they pay for it when it was opposition? So is your life different? So don't make the man tell us no new taxes. The man no charge no new taxes. And guess what my fool all the people do I want to tax you. The man will tax you, you know. I tell you, say, all the PNP want to do have to tax you. Me say the man will tax you. I say all the PNP want to do. I want to tax you. Look on the price of everything, people. Let's look on it good. Look on it good. Everything gone. Left everybody. While man I look more riches. I look more house. Man can't stop do the wrong thing. Just do the right thing while in the office, man. If I'm for once, that's why I'm like Mark Golden come in there. Come get a chance. Yeah, man. Show me what you got. Cause we try such man, you know. It's like we not try him. You know? And we try him. Such man get a full shot. Nobody bad mind him. Despite what you hear them attack. No, nobody a bad mind him, man. Everybody give him a fair shot. Big fair shot. The second time he get even more seat. And then what the man going to go do? And I come right now on a peer promise. The man a promise. I'll be right back, people, shortly.
After 2 terms in office, the incumbent party cannot be running an election off of promises. And who out of bush, like the PNP were out of bush now, and I try to get in, and them have to make the promises. A man were in an office for 9 years, a fair run for him achievements, you know, and him accomplishments, you know, and what him do already, you know. So this is what we are doing. We are give some more and we do already. So give me 4 more or 5 more years and we continue to do what we are doing. But when you come after 9 years and I promise the people basic fundamentals, you know, some things when they put you there to do from your the first term, you know, them give you a bonus term on it. And you come after the end of the bonus term and I promise the things that you should do from day one. We don't think a smart politicking that.
We have to get into the lives of those who are at risk of going down the wrong pathway and take them off of the wrong pathway.
People are Mark Golden budget speech, you know. I love listening to it, people. I listen to it many, many times, over and over again. It is a breath of fresh air and not some quarrel and blaming and baby crying like such man.
The PNP only argue about how the pie share up, how the cake cut up. But they don't know how to make the pie grow bigger. They don't come to you on the platform and tell you how they are going to create an economy for Portland for which you can benefit and your life can change. They don't give you a vision for the future that shows you how you are going to be better off. They don't come to you and tell you how they're going to use the natural assets that you have to create wealth for you. They don't tell you that. All they come and do is talk about me and tell lie for me and tell all kind of lies.
Nation's potholes have become a symbol of failure of this government's prosperity promise. After 9 years of glaring neglect, government initiatives like REACH and SPARK are in reality just temporary and inadequate fixes. Indeed, the major project SPARK will only address, I believe, 4% of the total road network. But what about the other 96% of the road network that serves the families in rural communities? What about the roads that serve the yam and banana farmer in Muirhouse, St. Anna, and the coffee farmers in Landui and St. Thomas? Mr. Speaker, it is apparent that the National Works Agency is overwhelmed and lacks resources, resulting in haphazard patchwork solutions rather than durable repairs. The original intention was for the NWA to be equipped as the nation's leading engineering and implementation agency. That is why it was established. However, it has been reduced to overseeing the occasional bridge program and managing patching works. The state of the road network is really a testimony to inadequate technical oversight, lack of accountability, and a loss of value for money. Technical experts have warned that the NWA is short-staffed and cannot be its own performance monitor and auditor. There is an urgent need for independent oversight, for better planning, and for technological integration to ensure taxpayer funds are effectively spent.
Look, I produce a weird stuff there play. People, look at. You see Mark Golden here? We are going to hold him accountable, you know. Yeah, man, we are going to hold him accountable, man. Talk truth. We are going to hold him accountable, people. That's why we love them a thing record, you know. We like to hear the record and everything register. That later on, just like we see, we hold such man stuff and we can pull up video of him attack when in the opposition We can't pull up video clip of him and have nothingness. You know? When they're on the opposition side and tell you all them things.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Peer chattings.
Mr. Speaker, I move to the next subject. Jamaicans want new and better opportunities to improve the quality of their life. I will now outline how we intend to create better opportunities through a new deal for our workers, greater care of persons with disabilities, a focus on support for senior citizens, building of measures to support MSMEs that were announced by our spokesperson for finance last Thursday. I move to the workers of Jamaica. Mr. Speaker, as I think many know, this is the 100th anniversary of the birth of former Prime Minister Michael Manley. Himself a former Labour leader. It is also the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the Industrial Disputes Tribunal under 1975 under his government. It gives access to justice to the workers of Jamaica. Time come to once again move the agenda forward for our workers. Mr. Speaker, contract work is too often used as a loophole which denies workers the basic set of rights and benefits to which they are intended to be entitled under Jamaican law. Some forms of contract work are legitimate and proper. Too often it is used as a way of getting around the architecture of benefits that workers are supposed to enjoy in this country.
Me never hear such man say that one day yet. Nigel Clark, they come out and promise say, by when and when in Jamaican people, them get off, the worker, them get off a contract, and it, contract work, and it will come in a phase. And Nigel gone, left the worker, yo, you see the labor right here? Nigel Clark come out and make big announcement, you know. Say, address this contract worker, then by 2020, them run on this big old pension scheme. So when they run on the pension scheme and they win in 2020, all of a sudden, almost all workers in Jamaica turn contract worker. That means that you will never get the benefit.
The abuse of contract work must be brought to an end.
True.
This government has merely begun to tinker with the problem in sections of the public sector, but has totally ignored the problem in the wider economy. The next PNP government will pass comprehensive legislation to eliminate abusive contractual arrangements which deny workers their basic employment rights. We will ensure the equal treatment of all genuine workers, regardless of the legal forms their contracts may take. While our guide on the specific measures to be followed will be the International Labour Organization, the ILO recommendation 166 of 1982, we will first go through a fulsome process of consultation with employer groups, our unions, our sectoral groups, and other key stakeholders before we finalize the legislation. At the same time, we will take a balanced approach, encouraging employers to regularize their employment contracts. And how do we do that? Under the Portia Simpson Miller administration, a tax incentive called the Employment Tax Credit, ETC, was introduced. The ETC has proven to be a significant win-win for the government, for businesses, for workers, and the broader economy. It has led to the formalization of more workers as employees, granting access to rights and benefits that previously they didn't have, such as participation in NHT and NIS, formal employment status so they can open bank accounts, and eligibility for loans from regulated lending institutions. The ETC incentive has also boosted corporate tax compliance, business compliance, resulting in substantial increases in government revenue. Currently, the ETC is capped at 30% of the tax charged on the company's or traders' income, trading income. As we seek to eliminate the practice of using contract work to exclude from the rights and benefits that are exclude workers from their rights and benefits that formalized employees enjoy, I propose increasing the ETC to 40% of the tax chargeable. This will provide an even stronger incentive to employers to formalize the employment of their workers and provide balance in our quest to ensure fair and equitable employment practices across the board. Mr. Speaker, the system of minimum wage in Jamaica is also in need of an overhaul. No worker should be earning a wage which is below the cost of a basic, decent daily life.
About time.
In our first year in office, I will task the Planning Institute of Jamaica, the PIOJ, to provide its insights and its research regarding shifting from a minimum wage system to a livable wage system.
Okay.
One which is tied to the actual cost of living and is renewed annually to account for accumulated inflation over the preceding year. The benefits, Mr. Speaker, of families earning a livable wage and living above the poverty line will outweigh any temporary effects on the employment market. And we have seen that repeatedly where people have said increases in the minimum wage, significant increases can't be done because it's going to result in displacement of employment and so on. And the thing settles down shortly thereafter and living standards are raised at the bottom of the society, which is so important. Mr. Speaker, I move to the whole question of worker representation. Some of the industries which are the largest employers of workers in the country are characterized by a lack of worker representation. We are mindful of the series of strikes in the hotel sector last year, for example, when hotel workers took to the streets to seek redress for what they described as low pay and unacceptable working conditions. Mr. Speaker, we will pursue the establishment of joint industrial councils in those industries where there are high levels of employment, but no common minimum standards for the sector, for working conditions, and no union representation. A joint industrial council is a mechanism facilitated by the state that brings employers and employees together to negotiate and settle basic standards related to pay and conditions of work in that sector. Precedent for it exists. For example, it has been used in the construction industry in Jamaica for many years. The sense of security, fairness, and dignity that this will bring employees in these sectors will promote harmony and stability at the workplace and increase the workers' productivity and their efficiency.
Well, me love what Mark saying, but we say we can hold them accountable, that we are keep playing them and we are record them, the man have a good plan. Make we hear him plan about education. When plan about education, make we listen, because a different plan from such man a pay Chikini and generalship and you know gimmicks in the pan. Yeah, man, people can't trust him no more. Me not lie, people. Pay a gimmick with such man the pan, nobody not trust him. None of them plan them. Yo.
Mr. Speaker, the education system, our second E. The education system, our second E, is the center of our strategy. And I have said this consistently every year. The system is failing to provide consistent standards of performance across.
Fight strong. What you say? I never knew I would see a politician speak this way about worker welfare in Jamaica. What you say, my brother? You me say? Me love what I hear. That's why I play it over and over again. All to myself, I play it. Come and listen to me ratchet. Am I dreaming?
Schools. While there are some institutions of excellence in Jamaica, in which we are all very proud, over 30% of our children entering secondary school from primary school are unable to read and write or to do basic arithmetic.
That's shame.
This flows into secondary schools and the performance there. where less than 20% of students leave with a minimum acceptable outcome of 5 subjects, including English and maths. Mr. Speaker, this cannot be allowed to continue.
No.
The next PNP government will prioritize raising standards at the early childhood and primary levels by addressing the needs of children from birth onwards. This will mean making investments with the goal that our children entering secondary school are indeed able to read, write, and do basic arithmetic and think critically.
Start the things, man.
These investments are required in teacher training and compensation, infrastructure and technology, and in support services for parenting.
I know AI, man.
Absenteeism is a big problem.
Real.
Too many children are missing days from school each week.
That's the thing.
We will expand and improve the school feeding program,
yes,
to ensure adequate and proper nutrition and encourage school attendance.
Hungry people can't learn.
That is why last Thursday, the Shadow Spokesman for Finance outlined our EASE program, EASE, which stands for Ensuring Adequate Sustenance for Education. We commit to providing a daily lunch meal at primary and secondary school for all children who need it. We commit to extending this to a daily breakfast thereafter as the fiscal situation improves. This will help us to ease the financial burden on parents and guardians.
We can do
we
it.
are championing change by cushioning the cost of living crisis for the most vulnerable.
We can afford it, people. We can do it. $100 billion escape out of the country and accounted for. We can do it. We can do it.
And as another element of the EASE program, we commit to rolling out a transportation subsidy for students in areas not served by JUTC.
We can do it.
JUTC, which has provided subsidized fares for children and elderly since it commenced operation under a PNP administration.
Stop stealing the money. Stop stealing the money and we can do it.
Our rural initiative for delivering education, the RIDE program, will assist rural students with their weekly transportation costs. Children in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, students from Manchester and Clarendon, young people from Portland and St. Ann, indeed from all across the island in rural parishes, they will benefit. From Portland to Hanover. We need to give the next generation a better chance.
Jaja.
So we are championing change.
Talk up the thing, no, man.
Mr. Speaker, my understanding is that the existing arrangements on the path in relation to transportation target only 7,500 students. Our aim is to expand it significantly over the next 3 years. Our target is to expand it to 50,000 students in that period. We will deliver the program by leveraging technology, ensuring accountability and transparency. We will start modestly and we will scale it up. We will partner with the schools, licensed transport operators, and service stations to deliver the RIDE program via a cash-free system. We will say more about this program at an appropriate time.
Solid planning of people. No gimmicks.
Mr. Speaker.
Wait till you hear about land and housing. Other part there, make every hair stand up all down my neck back, you know. Land and housing. Wait till you hear that part there. People, a big people budget this. I don't know gimmicks in a parliament and God no! Me not tell lie. For the Jamaican people and all type of gimmick and foolishness. Yo, people tell that. Yo, people tell that man and the nonsense in the people. I want him to know that, you know.
Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me now sin upon the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against our fellow man.
Me just say, that brother, that people tired of that, you know. I want him to know, you know. People have to hear big people in the room now, man. Sure.
They are getting rather excited.
And if you notice when Mark Golden are talking and the nice I make up in night, you know, you barely hear the speaker. You know, members are, and you know, when Mark Golden speak, but if such one in there speak, you hear it's like you're up on a plantation, nobody can talk. If you notice, them allow that to happen, you know. The whole speaker allow the, you know, the certain thing for broke down in the thing. When Mark Golden speak, no order.
Mr. Speaker.
See it, him have to call to
can
speaker.
Continue.
See it there? Mark Golden have to call to the speaker. Mr. Speaker, if I may continue. You see that? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In keeping with our belief in a sound grounding, solid grounding in ethics, we will equip our students with an understanding of the Constitution and their rights, and with social skills based on wholesome values and attitudes. A start has been made, but there is more to be done. We will deepen and entrench civics education as a core subject in the national curriculum.
Good as civic.
We will build the teachings of the right excellent Marcus Messiah Garvey into the school curriculum.
What?
We will do so at all levels on an age-appropriate basis to encourage self-belief, personal responsibility,
from all levels,
and self-actualization in our nation's youth.
All levels. From basic school, in a cartoon book,
Mr. Speaker, ethics must be central to the development of our nation.
What the man say? Ethics must be central for the development of our nation. None of this can be accomplished if man a thief out everything. In our work, man, we can do it, people.
Mr. Speaker, the funding to support children with special needs is woefully inadequate. We really see the need to address this matter.
Yep.
And we will provide resources to place emphasis on the diagnosis of learning disabilities and to strengthen shadow support for children who need it and other measures to support the education of children with special needs and their families.
If ever see such man, when you look people, you look shame like a little boy, like, oh, I couldn't think about this. That's smart. That's smart thinking. I couldn't think about this.
At the tertiary level, Jamaica is lagging behind in producing an educated workforce to drive national development, with less than 30% of eligible children enrolled in tertiary education, eligible students. We will provide one full scholarship for a university degree per family. This will provide an avenue of social mobility for each family and encourage broader participation in tertiary education in Jamaica. Mr. Speaker, the next PNP government will go further than the other side have when it comes to student loans, while we acknowledge the adjustments that have been announced. We will cap loan payments for borrowers from the Student Loan Bureau at a manageable percentage of the borrower's actual income. In periods of unemployment, we will suspend loan payments and tack those payments onto the back end of their loans.
All right.
Without penalties.
What?
Young professionals who borrow student loans to invest in their education will no longer have to fret about the shackle of a bad credit score through no fault of their own.
Jaja. Look out for the people and give the people a chance, man.
And we acknowledge that the number of our students faced with the job market that now exists have So we will have a special amnesty program to allow students who are now in default, to bring their loans current without incurring penalties and arrears interest.
I help you try help the people in try dig out their like such man. And a green plate upon the private car, them have to come after Mark Golden. Them have to come off.
Mr. Speaker, Jamaica is suffering from high rates of attrition from our teaching profession. Classroom teachers feel underappreciated, and they have been leaving in droves for better pay and working conditions elsewhere. We need to encourage bright and committed Jamaicans to go into teaching and stay in the teaching profession.
Yeah.
We need to reverse this trend by encouraging those people who would otherwise want to perhaps go elsewhere. We will ensure that teachers receive student debt reductions and motor vehicle concessions at levels that increase with their years of service in the teaching profession.
And as such, man, teachers lose them year of service. I was just talking to a young teacher a couple of days ago, and the young man feels so downhearted. You know, like he losing he lost his year of service, and if you know, he say, "But so going on, never start." You understand me? Yo, go and talk to Mark Golden.
We will ensure that teachers benefit from enhanced access to NHT loans and are given priority in housing allocations in NHT finance schemes.
Yes.
We will remove all taxes on laptops and tablets for students and teachers.
Yes. Big man thing. Big man thing.
And we will negotiate package deals to provide teachers with free internet service as a tool of their trade. Mr. Speaker, we have to be flexible, we have to be innovative, and we have to take the necessary steps to ensure that the teachers of this country stay in Jamaica and help to build our nation. And what is happening now cannot be allowed to continue.
Jaja.
Mr. Speaker, data shows that the productivity of the Jamaican economy has been in long-term decline. Most of our employed workforce are in low-skilled, low-paying jobs, and approximately 60% of our workers have no formal certification. 75% of employed men and 55% of employed women, averaging 60% or thereabouts. We need to reduce the number of Jamaicans who do not hold certification. It has been a long-standing problem, and there's been no effective solution offered in the last 9 years. The next PNP government, Mr. Speaker, will reinvigorate Jamaica's systems of skills training and certification.
That's a real solid plan, people. You see, if 1/3 of the man plan come true, Jamaica they on the right, a good part, you know. You can imagine if half of the plan come true, and you can imagine if all of them plan come true. Mr. With Jamaica nice man. Jamaica nice man.
Our national productivity to increase dramatically so that we can attract investment in high value-added industries that provide well-paying jobs for our people globally. This way we can put an end to the calls for the importation of labor, which are getting louder and louder.
What a shame.
We will establish state-of-the-art vocational laboratories in all high schools, entrenching the vocational pathway in the 7-year secondary experience that leads the students to level 4 certification by the time they graduate and leave high school.
Man, I talk like a big man, not like a boy.
We will revitalize and repurpose HEART so that it provides the training opportunities needed to build a fit-for-purpose workforce that is geared to meet the evolving needs of the 21st century economy.
Stop that,
Mr. Speaker, we also recognize the benefits of training in the private sector. The private sector training typically is more geared towards the actual knowledge and skills which businesses need to compete and expand. There's tremendous value in that. The competitiveness of our economy will therefore benefit from a significant expansion of the investment in training at the firm level. We will use harsh resources to incentivize businesses to invest in training.
Yep.
We will match dollar for dollar the amount that a business spends on training so that it can expand the productivity and efficiency of Jamaica's workforce.
We can do it. We can do it.
This spring, supercharged curiosity and
We can do it, people. We can do it. All of that we can do. Trust me, we can do it. Stop thief the money. Make we talk about housing now. And a part me like to hear. Because a part make me feel, you know, it's a very nice feeling. Make we hear housing, all the housing go, people. Housing. Yeah, you hear me?
I turn to the issue of land and housing. Every Jamaican aspires to own their own home. Yet we face 190,000 housing unit deficit, which has forced 21% of our population into informal settlements.
Hey.
The prevalence of inequitable land distribution and unaffordable housing fuels intergenerational poverty and crime. It is time for real solutions, not photo ops, for a PR exercise in social housing that is not really moving the needle. Under this government, Mr. Speaker, the performance of the National Housing Trust continues to be underwhelming, to say the least. If I can quote from the February 2025 fiscal policy paper that was tabled as one of the budget documents, it says, the NHT estimates slower than planned execution of its housing projects. And it goes on. The trust expects to commence construction of 6,366 housing units compared to its original target of 15,009, and estimates to complete construction of 2,754 compared to its original target of 3,664. This has contributed to a $15.3 billion underspend in its housing expenditure, which stems predominantly from delays in the execution of its guaranteed purchase program. End of quote. Mr. Speaker, the political organization that I lead views shelter and housing as basic socio-economic rights.
Talk, no man. Talk, no man. People, you me say, at a speech, yeah. Remember me tell Unu say, you know, me have money in a housing trust from me at about 25 years old, you know. Me voluntarily go put my money there. The first one me take go there at $7,000. Them time the $7,000 enough money. And when me hear that speech, the first time I feel from me there foreign. Come here always I say, me go keep it, you know, come here grandpicnic, me picnic if anything. You understand me? But me say, you know what? When my goal is coming there, me I go to Jamaica go erect this a house here. Because me da get more for my money under him. Make we listen and you will know why.
We have a proud legacy where housing is concerned. We do not bulldoze the homes of vulnerable families like what took place at Clifton near Bernard Lodge. We do not evict long-standing occupiers of land with well-established homes built on them, as was attempted at Mount Pleasant near Luidas Vale. We would not take NHT funds to build houses costing between $29 and $38 million when there's such a dire shortage of affordable housing for young professionals and public sector workers. Mr. Speaker, with a focus on building houses that are affordable to the people, the next PNP administration will take a multi-pronged strategy to tackling the housing crisis. Our first strategy is a set of measures relating to the National Housing Trust. We will stop the annual extraction of the $11.4 billion from the NHT to fund the budget.
Hey.
Mr. Speaker, when this was originally conceived, it was written into the law as a 4-year fiscal measure in the hardest of times during a tough IMF program when our debt was spiraling out of control. It was never our intention that it would go beyond 2017. This government criticized it very trenchantly when they were in opposition. They even supported a lawsuit, which was ultimately unsuccessful, to challenge it.
You hear that?
But then they turned around when they got into government and they have extended it for an additional 8 years since 2017, including once again in this budget for 2025-26.
You hear that?
Mr. Speaker, we will end this annual extraction of resources from the NHT.
Imagine you stop take out $11.4 billion annually out of the NHT. You stop take out money out of it and give to SSL. And next thing holding and God knows where else the money gone. You know much people that have roof over them head. I run behind this man and I talk about jiggy 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 ring belly down a green shirt. When the man could have put so much house over. Yo, wickedness, you know.
And our plan is to recapitalize the NHT with lands to restore value for the $136.8 billion that has been taken from it to fund successive budgets over the last 12 years. We will also repurpose the NHT to have its focus on its core mandate of providing affordable houses to contributors.
Listen.
Using this recapitalization mechanism, we will exclude the cost of land from the price of houses built by the NHT over the next...
Oh, no, you what the man say? The man exclude the price of land. Oh, no, not here. Oh, no, not go pay for the land where the house go sit down pan. You think when you buy a house and you not pay for the land, that's an equity right away. Interest right away. Set you forward instead of backward. Hold on, the market, G boy. You think you... Me say, me could listen to the man I say, yeah, man. Housing people, like Fight Strong say, about time we have a serious conversation about housing and families. Such man, take away the house from we big friends and benefit. Me could listen to the man, yeah, man.
From the NHT. And our plan is to recapitalize the NHT with land to restore value for the $136.8 billion that has been taken from it to fund successive budgets over the last 12 years.
Oh my God.
We will also repurpose the NHT to have its focus on its core mandate of providing affordable houses to contributors.
Yeah.
Using this recapitalization mechanism, we will exclude the cost of land from the price of houses built by the NHT over the next 5 years, passing through a reduction of between $2.5 and $3 million to contributors purchasing those homes. That is social and economic justice for the contributors whose institution has been depleted of resources to ease the fact.
Hold on, I don't hear the man I say. Is it because for the last 12 years, $11.4 billion come out of it? I compensate. Mark Golden believes so we should get compensation for that robbery, you know, and they got it out of the NHT, you know. And that the man, I don't know, listen to the man I say, people. Listen good, you know. Because of what they did to us, you know. For the last 12 years of this government, that took out $11.4 billion. Money come out, they go in a SSL. Next in holding, they do all type of stuff for the money. And the people not benefit. Mark Golden thinks, say, you shouldn't pay for the land. At least that you must get for it. Eh? Mighty God. Mark Golden sound like a inbound on Cumberland Road. And the other man sound like a inbound with ghost spoon in his mouth. Eh? No, sir.
And our plan is to recapitalize the NHT with lands to restore value for the $136.8 billion that has been taken from it to fund successive budgets over the last 12 years. We will also repurpose the NHT to have its focus on its core mandate of providing affordable houses to contributors. Using this recapitalization mechanism, we will exclude the cost of land from the price of houses built by the NHT over the next 5 years, passing through a reduction of between $2.5 and $3 million to contributors purchasing those homes.
Next 5 years?
That is social and economic justice for the contributors whose institution has been depleted of resources to ease the final burden on the country.
We have 5 years to get that
Teachers, nurses, police officers, and other public servants young professionals, persons with disabilities, and indeed an individual contributing to the NHT will be able to afford their own home.
Talk, no man.
Wait.
Talk, no man. Andrew feels long down like when Jackass and the cool shade in the parliament, you see. If you could have seen his face when them, me say, oh, me not loving in my heart. Him go like him born rich. Yo, the man say 5 years you have to get the house, your NHT house, when you have to pay for your land. You know, save yourself millions of dollars. You hear the man talk, right? Because of what they did to NHT. Gutted NHT, take out $11.4 billion plus other play things where them use the money though. So Billy say we as contributor must get some more tight. It's for the next 5 years. You see me? So now 5 years, we go get the NHT house. Remember, you know, me tell you say, me have money night from me at 25-year-old. And under Mark Golden in win. Yes. Here we go.
The People's National Party knows that public sector workers are hurting from the way in which the pay rationalization was done. So we have come up with 3 measures to show our appreciation for their service to the nation. Our second strategy is a special National Housing Trust package of benefits for public servants, young people, and low-wage earners. Firstly, public sector workers. They used to enjoy a preferred rate of interest on their NHT loans, but this government took it away.
See that?
We will restore public sector workers access to a reduction in their NHT interest rate.
See that? Such man broke foot, you know. Pay put him broke. Hold on, him and hold on.
Police, nurses, teachers, doctors, firefighters, indeed all public servants who are NHT borrowers will get back this benefit.
Not true.
Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we will give public sector workers a break when it comes to commencing their loan payments. Currently, when an NHT loan is disbursed, the borrower has to commence payments in the following month. We recognize that buying a home has a lot of other costs attached to it.
Okay.
We will therefore allow a public sector worker a 3-month moratorium period after disbursement of the loan.
Wow.
Before commencing any loan payments. And that will give them time to recover the expenses they've incurred, to buy some furniture, and to get their place ready to move in.
People, I think when I think about, you know, when you get a house, you want furniture, there's a lot of costs that come with it. You get a break, moratorium in our pay. Look here, man, such man, I think about that, you know. Pay chicken in the business and lie and stunt and I try to say if you can give it one hand and now you can use the next hand to take it back. Generalship.
And Mr. Speaker, we have one more goodie for our public sector workers.
Yes.
Currently, the debt service ratio, the DSR, required by the NHT is 33.3%. That means that the loan payments each month cannot exceed 33 1/3 of their gross salary. We are extending a preferred 40% debt service ratio to public sector workers for their NHT loans to allow them room to borrow a larger loan from the NHT to buy their home.
Such man is so smart, man.
Mr. Speaker, we recognize that often the hardest hurdle for young people in buying a home is the deposit.
Yeah.
Well, young people, we have you in mind. The next PNP government will establish a special young owners deposit fund of $1 billion within the NHT.
Want to listen, $1 billion. Why man I gonna use? Why am I gonna use $1 billion? How much money slip out of the country every year? How much gone out of the country every year? At just $1 billion this, you know? We have $3 trillion unaccounted for right now. We have $902 billion unaccounted for over the Ministry of Education and Youth. $902 billion, you know. What the man says so? $1 billion. How much, mister? $902 billion. It's to show yourself the money Jamaica can be a superpower in the Caribbean for real if boy and girl stop thief.
Using those NHT resources to enable young persons under 35 years of age to access $500,000 towards their deposit once they have been an NHT contributor for 2 years or more.
Put it. Help them out, man. Lift them up. Take them out of life of crime.
They will be able to apply to the NHT and get their $500,000 deposit grant. Time come for young Jamaicans to open a home.
How? Hopelessness is causing a lot of crime. It's when I give a youth a hope, show them a way out, or you can lift up off of the ground, be more responsible. As a young youth, you have him home and you look at family. Different thing, people. You got to see the mind of the people, along with the teaching of the Marcus Garvey in the school and civics and all them things that come back. You got to see the country change and take a thief out of office.
And Mr. Speaker, we have to do something for the low-income borrowers from the fund, from the National Housing Trust. The cost of home insurance continues to increase. Last year alone, insurance for homes increased by 25%. And this is passed on to NHT borrowers as it's wrapped up in their monthly loan payments. So when you pay a loan, you pay for the principal, you pay for the accrued interest, and you pay for the insurance in the payment that you make. This is particularly hard on NHT borrowers at the lowest band who earn $30,000 or less.
The white man I think about.
They also need a break.
Jaja.
Mr. Speaker, the next PNP government will help these low-income NHT borrowers by absorbing the cost of the insurance on their homes. This means that their monthly payments will be lower and they will be able to afford a bigger mortgage loan. We are looking out for the low-income NHT borrowers.
Yo, Jamaica is a boss man going to give you know. And the biggest boss Jamaica get in a long time, you know. It's a boss the white man I give you know. So when you talk about white, black, we don't have to hear that. The color of your eye and the color of your skin have nothing to do with you. Huh? The right thing.
Mr. Speaker, many people earn their living in the informal sector in Jamaica, and they are not able to produce a payslip to establish their income. Many other people have formal employment, but they end up paying rent because they cannot afford to save for the deposit to pay down on a house. We will roll out the NHT rent-to-own plan to address these two situations.
You hear that?
First, Mr. Speaker, a person earning in the informal economy that can't produce a payslip, but who wants to buy an NHT house will be able to go into possession as a tenant, paying a monthly rent equivalent to a mortgage loan payment. And by establishing their ability to pay over a relatively short period of time, they will then be deemed eligible to access the mortgage loan from the NHT to buy the house. Having established proof of payment, they don't need to produce a payslip. Mr. Speaker, the other person who can't save enough for the deposit to buy a house will be able to rent an NHT house under the rent-to-own program. And a specified portion of the rent payments, we're considering from 50 to 75%, will be accredited.
Hold on, the people, and it I got through a soda part of stay.
Upper band. On the market. However, approximate.
It I got through that little part they are spinning. We don't want to miss nothing, people. It just a spin that little part there so it stay. Because we don't want to miss nothing because they might think about everybody. Because like him ban a Cumberland Road out of one bedroom.
To the deposit. And here of them.
And my fault, people.
Mr. Speaker, our housing strategy includes making the Housing Agency of Jamaica the lead developer for low-income housing in the island. Most private developers have not been focusing on affordable housing because the return on investment is not as attractive as in the middle to upper bands on the market. However, approximately 50% of NHT contributors earn less than $30,000 a week, the same band of low-income borrowers who we're going to give the home insurance break to. And they cannot find a house on the market that falls within their income band. The government has a duty to protect its citizens. And we will use the HAJ to drive the construction of low-income housing.
Too much backdoor deals and chickini business are going. Poor people can't get no house, boy. Talk the things, man. Sure.
Our plan is to build 50,000 affordable houses over the next 5 years. There will be one-bedroom starter units, because we know there's a practice among our people that when you sell a Jamaican a starter unit, they will expand on it, and in time they will build their castle. Right. Just look at Portmore and look at many of the other communities, including Operation Pride communities, where persons who are once living in informal settlements and have been regularized have lovely houses as a result of the policies.
Look how the white man I think about black people. It's like he know more than the man was same born in a one bedroom. The white man, if I figure a way out to put house over and give him a chance and let him not do it. I feel say that man I got carry off. Just give him a chance, people. Me see Patsy Fletcher say, you put me stuff. I'm gonna put it up there, family. I'll put it up there. But me I tell us that this is moving. You know,
it's National Party. Mr. Speaker, as I've said, contributors to the NHT who are purchasing these units will not have to pay the land portion of the overall value, increasing the affordability and investment value to these buyers. They will get a significant equity from this policy. Mr. Speaker, we have already started to develop a database of government lands that are available for housing, and these are being identified across the island. When we form government, we will be not sitting and waiting for lands to be identified. The work is already being done. The third part of our housing strategy is to roll out the program for orderly renewal and transformation of infrastructure in all areas, which we have named in honor of Portia.
Real talk.
Under the Portia program, we will be building social houses, tearing down zinc fences, replacing them with concrete walls. We'll be constructing sidewalks to facilitate the ease of movement for persons with disabilities and senior citizens. And most importantly, we will be completing all the Operation Pride projects that were left unfinished, which this government has ignored for the last 9 years. Our goal, Mr. Speaker, our goal is to bring dignified housing and to create secure, organized communities out of these informal settlements.
Boy, I tell you, say, they can't beat that. They can't beat that. So, my final clip tonight is about constitutional reform, which is very important because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So, Make we listen a little piece of it and hear Mark Golding plan. That's my final clip. This is very important also. Trust me. Tell me what you think about what one I hear.
Mr. Speaker, I move to the issue of constitutional reform. The People's National Party is committed to constitutional reform. Our view is that time comes for full decolonization now. And we are happy to see that the former Prime Minister, just retired Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Keith Rowley, has recognized that Trinidad also needs to get on that path. Jamaica must move away from the king of...
Hold on there. Before we go further, Christine Gilbert, rent to own is a great idea. I know people paying up to $55,000 for rent who cannot get a benefit from NHT. I don't lie because me just talk to a youth the other day, Jamaica youth. You may talk about the youth when his mother passed, and since his mother passed, you know, they pan him home and him rent and him a hard-working youth. And rent is expensive. So I said this would be a good idea for him. Because I said if him can't pay rent, him can pay rent to own. At the end of the day, I'm going to own it as a young youth. So Mark Golding, you know, if I look out for the young youth, them, if him come in an office and pull off all of this, them can't get him out, you know, people. May I tell you, say, if him go in an office and even pull off a fraction of what you hear man talk about, yeah, the people man love him to death, man, the white man, when I go see.
Mr. Speaker, I move to the issue of constitutional reform. The People's National Party is committed to constitutional reform. Our view is that time comes for full decolonization now. And we are happy to see that the former Prime Minister, just retired Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Keith Rowley, has recognized that Trinidad also needs to get on that path. Jamaica must move away from the King of England as our head of state and from the King's colonial era Privy Council as our highest court.
Sure. Look at a Master Mark, I say so. Remember, Master Mark, them call him. You understand me, I say? Master Mark. Remember, Mark, yes, sir. The man blacker than the man who born in Jamaica in a one bedroom. This man here, born in Jamaica, but he born with gold spoon. But the other man were born in Jamaica in a one bedroom. He know about pit toilet, not talk about inside bathroom. Think about it. Man, remember where I come from. And the white man. And every day, they talk about Master Mark, Master Mark, Master Mark. And listen to him plan them or them solid for the people of Jamaica. Listen, no gimmickry, no nonsense and no galang like no clown in a parliament and a PR stunt. Just talk to the people them normal. We understand you.
We are a proud and mature independent nation, and we must fully repatriate our sovereignty. Mr. Speaker, we reject doing this in phases because that will derail the completion of the process. I once again call on the Prime Minister on Thursday to state his party's position on embracing the Caribbean Court of Justice as our final court.
Not believe in ourselves.
Mr. Speaker, the former colonies of the Commonwealth that have succeeded in moving away from the monarchy to achieve full sovereignty, the former colonies of the Commonwealth, have done so by utilizing a tried and proven formula. The formula has two limbs. Limb one, the link from the monarch's court, either before or at the same time as moving away from the monarchy, by faithfully following the path laid down by the Constitution of the country for amending its provisions. Limb two, the political parties of the country finding common ground As outlined by former Prime Minister Bruce Golding in the opening of the debate on the Charter of Rights in this honorable chamber in 2011, that common ground can only be reached by means of cross-party dialogue. And we are not having that dialogue. We need to have it. The over 40 former colonies of Britain across the world who have moved away from the monarchy have overwhelmingly done so, either after or at the same time as moving away from the monarch's court. Yet this government won't tell Jamaica why they don't want to follow this tried and tested formula.
Slut man, I want to left back a master yard, man. You see him? You see that man there? And the white man I tell him to come out the back of yard. You know? The white man in blacker than the leader there, Jamaica there. The white man is blacker than him. Me I tell you, my gold is blacker than him, man.
By proceeding as if the journey of constitutional reform can be successfully completed unilaterally with the support of one side of the aisle only, they have caused the reform process to become mangled. This approach has shown an immense lack of care and interest in the interests of the overwhelming majority of Jamaicans who have been denied access to their final court for nearly 200 years. Of all the countries that have successfully transitioned from the Privy Council to an accessible final court of appeal, from Canada, which completed the process in 1935, to St. Lucia in 2023, not one of them has done so through a referendum route. Not one. Why has this been so? Mr. Speaker, there are several reasons. The first and most obvious being that it is futile to hold a referendum on an issue, the possible outcome of which does not lie in our power to implement or continue. If there was a referendum and the vote was to remain tied to the Privy Council, the power to make that happen does not lie with us in Jamaica. It lies with the gift of the United Kingdom, and they can change their position on it at any time. Peter, there's another powerful reason. The referendum is in essence, a political exercise, and matters concerning the judicial structure of the country should not be subjected to the harsh and extreme banter of political platforms. It will not serve the administration of justice to subject the highest court to that risk of irreparable damage to its image, reputation, and acceptance. Mr. Speaker, the Jamaican Bar Association in 2015 in a public statement said, and I quote, "We feel strongly that subjecting the process to a political referendum and the vagaries of our adversarial political system will impact on the dignity of the court, which may serve to put the court into disrepute." I end quote. Mr. Speaker, in a similar vein, noted constitutional scholar Dr. Lloyd Barnett, who advocated a case before the Privy Council, which resulted in the ruling that 2/3 majority is what's required for a constitutional vote.
Go easy on the market, G. He man a liar, you know, man, Chuck. Man said, I'm a doctor because I'm a you know, more than you. I'm not a doctor before me, but anyway, don't say it. Go easy, market, G.
Complete the transition to the Caribbean Court of Justice. He has publicly urged the Jamaica Labour Party parliamentarians to follow that correct pathway, the pathway that has been laid down by the Privy Council itself in interpreting our Constitution. Mr. Speaker, there are examples right here in our region of chaotic outcomes to such exercises that were held in 3 sister states, which have a specific constitutional requirement of a referendum for transitioning to the Privy Council. Jamaica, fortunately, has no such requirement, and the Privy Council has said that what it requires is a 2/3 vote in both houses of our parliament. Mr. Speaker, we do not support the route that Jamaica is now on. It is not in keeping with the requirements of our Constitution, as declared by the Privy Council itself, in a case brought by the Jamaica Labour Party. We urge the government to abide by the ruling of the highest court in the case that they themselves brought. So how should we proceed, Mr. Speaker? In the debate on the 2011 Charter of Rights, then Prime Minister Bruce Golding, after pointing out the pitfalls of the referendum route, set out the path by which the movement towards full independence must proceed to be successful. And I quote, he said, what the framers of the Constitution were saying is that, look, there are some things which are so important that it is not a matter of counting up the votes to decide who has won. It is a matter of ensuring that both government and opposition can find common ground.
That makes sense.
And Mr. Speaker, what should the common ground be? The final advice of former Prime Minister Edward Seaga was to keenly follow the progress of the CCJ for an appreciable amount of time, make an assessment, and then take the next meaningful step. That was what Mr. Seaga advocated for. With 2 decades having passed since the doors of the CCJ were opened back in 2005, there's been sufficient time to assess the performance of the Caribbean Court of Justice. That assessment, Mr. Speaker, that assessment shows that the transition should urgently proceed based on compelling factors. Firstly, no complaint whatsoever has ever been heard coming out of any of the 5 sister territories of the region that have embraced the jurisdiction of the court, the Caribbean Court of Justice, as their final court. That is a powerful testimony of the quality of the CCJ and the benefits of adopting it as a final court. Secondly, the CCJ has received strong international recognition for its secure insulation from political interference and other forms of external interference, and for the efficiency of its operations, and for the excellent quality of its judgments. And Mr. Speaker, thirdly, it is unacceptable and indefensible that Jamaicans should be left attached to a court to which only the most wealthy have access. To the shameful situation where a Jamaican citizen, like me, needs a visa
people, such man, you know why I'm taking that route there? We don't believe in ourselves. They man not believe in black people, you know. They man not rate black people, you know. Say man not turn the country, man. They man not rate black people. But I tell on them, I know what poor people do that, man. That's why you always hear my talk about say, I love the poor, but I hate poverty. I several times I say that, you know. I love the poor, but I hate poverty. No, man. You should have say I hate the poor too, because you're not showing no love to the poor.
Needs a visa. Needs a visa. Needs a visa. Needs a visa to travel to our final court. When the solution to putting that right lies right here in our hands, in this chamber, whether sitting as the House of Representatives or the Senate. And Mr. Speaker, access to justice is a critical issue. Right now, the vast majority of Jamaicans don't have a final court. No. You need a visa to go to UK as a litigant, and the cost of litigating a case in England come up to many, literally tens of millions of dollars. It is not an accessible court for the majority of our people. And when you look at what the CCJ has done for our Caribbean sister countries that have acceded to its jurisdiction as a final court, whereas in Jamaica you have a mere handful of cases going there each year, sometimes 2, sometimes 5, sometimes 1. Those countries have multiple appeals that are being heard. Their laws are being interpreted and applied. It brings tremendous economic value to have an accessible final court because it increases the rule of law and certainty in how economic transactions are conducted. So while our foreign direct investment is falling, look at what's happening in Guyana, for example, where they're growing at nearly 50% because of their oil and gas industry. They have the CCJ as their final court, and they have massive investment in their oil and gas industry. And the same is true of other jurisdictions in the
Such
Caribbean.
traitor to the Caribbean.
Mr. Speaker, if we undertake that assessment as recommended by Mr. Siaga, the outcome is clear. The government and opposition will at last have found common ground. This could be the year when the historic and empowering institution of a Caribbean Final Court, originally conceptualized by none other than former Prime Minister Hugh Shearer and his cabinet colleagues back in 1970, comes to finally be acceded to by Jamaica, and justice at the highest level becomes accessible to all Jamaicans.
True, man. Why not? Believe in ourselves. My God.
Prime Minister, you have a duty in this budget debate to deliver a long-awaited explanation to the country as to why you and your government do not support the position that the opposition confidently shares with 3 of your former leaders. I now move to the content of the constitutional reform bill now in Parliament. In our view, it is fatally flawed. First of all, its mechanism for appointing the new president effectively places that power in the hands of the Prime Minister of the day. And that is a highly undesirable further concentration of power in the head of government. And I do not want such an awesome power when I become Prime Minister. It should be Mr. Speaker, the bill would modify the bill would also modify the composition of the Senate to remove the opposition's ability to stand in the way of oppressive changes to entrenched constitutional protections. We do not support that. Mr. Speaker, the bill has also failed to include desirable accountability mechanisms to enhance the governance of the country, in particular, an impeachment procedure for delinquent parliamentarians who bring the office of this House into disrepute, and a recall procedure for non-performing MPs.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we can't support the bill in its current form, and we do not support a phased approach to the reform. The next PNP government will pursue a fully participatory process of engagement with the public. First of all, to design the reform process itself, because the process is important. And the process that they followed, which really tinkered with consultation, but the committee that they set up, they appointed everybody, except for the 2 that we appointed, and so on. That has not left the people of Jamaica feeling engaged and respected by the process. If you're going to deal with constitutional reform, you have to bring everybody on board and really address the issues. And then the reform recommendations will be dealt with through this constitutional participatory process. There is a lot to discuss and settle. Many Jamaicans want the right to elect their president. Many Jamaicans want the right to elect their president. Many want term limits. Many want fixed election dates. We need a fulsome discussion on how our diaspora can play a role in governance in the country. They support the economy, they support the people who live here, but they have no say in the governance of the country. What mechanism should the Constitution provide for them? That's an issue. We need to deal with the rights of our indigenous groups, the Maroons in particular, in relation to the land that they've occupied for centuries and which was guaranteed to them by treaty with the United Kingdom. All of these issues need to be addressed as part of the constitutional reform.
Some people, when they hear that, and hear Mark Golding, him say we in the diaspora need to be included. But such man, as an opposition, him come promise his own sweetie, and I'll know him no deliver, sir. Lie.
So what was the main purpose of the opposition's tour? Well, pretty much to present its mandate to the international community. Mr. Holness is upbeat the JLP administration has the soundest voters. are clamoring for? And is the party willing to make the paradigm shift Jamaica needs? One of the messages he shared is that a JLP government will ensure the diaspora community is given a chance to vote in elections.
This is a matter that we are going to put to the public for greater discussion, and it could also be a matter that when we win, we will place it on the grand referendum amongst the other issues to be resolved. I want to reiterate the point about how important it is for us to build strong links with our diaspora, because they have very high-level connections that can be used to carry through Jamaica's foreign policy, make connections for investment, and raise Jamaica's profile internationally. And so we have done quite a bit of work, quite a bit of networking to ensure that when we become the government, we hit the ground running in terms of getting in those investments for growth.
Investment, that's all our links and contacts. You?
Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me now sin upon the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against our fellow man.
And you find out that your CEO on the job is operating 28 bank accounts, passing $473 million through these accounts, and is doing a doctorate. Is doing a doctorate on the job. What would you do with that person? Everybody, regardless of which side they supported, because I didn't put it as a political question, them say you'd have to fire him. You would have to fire any such person, because it would be clear. It would be clear. I borrow the president's word. It would be pellucid that your CEO is not paying any attention to your business. And I say to the people of this country, Andrew Holness is not paying attention to your business. So what we're seeing is a country which is heading towards recession.
Not good news. So the growth we have been having has come to an end. It is now decline. That's where we're into now. And as you heard from Dr. Henry there, for calendar year 2024, we are going to end the year poorer than how we started it collectively in terms of our output of goods and services. Not good. And therefore, making the connection, the Prime Minister would have been aware of this. He would have been aware of this.
That is why we did something like the reverse tax credit, never before in Jamaica's history, where the government is giving back to people who earn less than $3 million per year. Never before happened. That's a way in which we are making sure that the dividends of the good economic management reaches to the people. Yes, good economic management can yam.
All ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets which are agreed upon by the cabinet, focused on two things: economic growth and job creation. Everything that they do must lead towards economic growth and job creation. Failure to achieve those specific targets within the time period are consequential. And then secondly, they will get a 90-day target. In other words, we want to be able to give a report card on the first 100 days of achievements. So they will get a 90-day target that they must achieve, and these are what we call the low-hanging changes that can be made within the first 90 days. And all of that is
aligned to our manifesto. Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me not sin upon the people.
In my hand is NWC bottled water, meaning bottled pipe water. And I can assure you, here in Mobay, those in Kingston, those anywhere in Jamaica, the water from NWC is safe to drink and is the envy of many of our Caribbean neighbors and is in high demand right across the world. And it is the reason, or one of the reasons rather, that Minister Bartlett uses when he goes to lobby for more ships to come for our cruise terminals. Because they come and buy Jamaican water, because foreigners trust our water.
Let me pause here and take a sip of the NWC's water. Let me make sure you see it properly. The NWC is bottled tap water, meaning it comes from the pipe.
If the scientists and technicians at the Ministry of Health tell you there's no problem, and the technical staff at the Water Commission tell you that there isn't a problem, then I don't know which politician can tell you that there is a problem, ladies and gentlemen.
What kind of trick this? What kind of trick this? After the Prime Minister come at the mountain and Mason come say water go run. As the Prime Minister left and then take down back the water. What kind of trick this? Take down back the water. What kind of trick this?
It is very unfortunate that these PNP mischief makers, who had decades to do right by the people of Mason Hall, have chosen to pour cold water on a project that will give 1,100 persons water in their homes. Now, what's interesting is that it is this administration that has laid the pipes. It is this administration that has phased the project and says this is the end of phase 1 that will ensure the entire area of Mason Hall, Kidland, gets water. What you saw yesterday is the beginning of a new era for Mason Hall. Go in and sign up for your water. But ignore these mischief makers, because these are the same mischief makers that never gave Wentworth water. We did. These are the same mischief makers that didn't correct the issues in Gale. It is this administration that will do so with a new 6-inch ductile iron line. This is the same set of mischief makers that built houses in Eden Park, gave these houses to residents of St. Mary, and didn't run pipes and connect them with water. Very sad. But it is this administration that in weeks will break ground to give the people of Eden Park water in their homes, as we have given water to the community of Mason Hall.
Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me not sin upon the people of Jamaica.
After the cussing I got last time, I'd have expected a little more warm response. Good afternoon, Mason Hall.
It has been a long journey, and today is the day that the Lord hath made. We should rejoice. Amen, sisters and brothers. It is time to collect the collection.
Those who would have to buy water from the water truck, you would no longer have to do so. You can now have water in your kitchen and water in your shower. Water in your shower. Water in your shower.
If you're getting water from down there, so you're not getting any water from the tanks them down here, sir? Eh? You're not getting none?
If you're not paying for water, I will find water.
Well, this is the 10th house we have come to find out if you're getting water in Mason Hall. You're not getting none? I buy half a buy.
Yeah. I've been selling the cups of water. If you rain up all night, I'm not getting water.
Oh, wow. All right, Auntie. Thank you. Here?
Okay, sir.
All right, good.
Okay.
Look, let's start speaking honestly to the Jamaican people. Let's start speaking honestly to them
and get an honest solution in ensuring that we can give water. See what's carrying water there for the people in Mason Hall?
People still have to be trucking water to their homes.
You can now have water in your kitchen and water in your shower. Water in your shower. Water in your shower.
In a follow-up now, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said when he learned that a group of 43 heartbroken Jamaican shipworkers had anchored near Port Royal in Kingston seeking landing, they had already left. But according to Holness, the moment he became aware of the matter on Friday, April 3, he was clear that they would have had to be allowed in.
When it came to our attention, we all said, well, you know, this is a situation that we should consider. And I said, yes, go ahead. By the time the minister went out to make the call, to give the approval, he came back and said, Prime Minister, they have left. So I just want that to be clear, because in a time of crisis, there are persons who are trying to find all kinds of issues to hang on to. And we need to be kept in check. But I am also going to be very frank and very plain and straightforward that we are not going to give any quarter for anyone to hang on to misinform and distract. I think all.
In a follow-up now, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said when he learned that a group of 43 heartbroken Jamaican shipworkers had anchored near Port Royal in Kingston seeking landing, they had already left. But according to Holness, the moment he became aware of the matter on Friday, April 3, he was clear that they would have had to be allowed in.
When it came to our attention, we all said, well, you know, this is a situation that we should consider. And I said, yes, go ahead. By the time the minister went out to make the call, to give the approval, he came back and said, Prime Minister, they have left. So I just want that to be clear, because in a time of crisis, there are persons who are trying to find all kinds of issues to hang on to. And we need to be kept in check. But I am also going to be very frank and very plain and straightforward that we are not going to give any quarter for anyone to hang on to misinform and distract. I think all Jamaicans know we must remain focused.
This development has further clouded the issue since shipworkers had reported that they anchored in Jamaican waters at 7 a.m. on Thursday, April 2 for refueling and disembarkation, and departed at 4 p.m. on Friday, April 3 after no word came from the government on their landing request. And according to a joint statement from the Ministries of National Security and Foreign Affairs, the captain left possibly because there could be no guarantee that the Jamaicans would have been granted landing.
Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me now sin upon the people of Jamaica.
Every agent of the state, every employee of the state, every state agency, every state department, every ministry must treat our citizens with respect, that they have rights, and the right to life is the most important right, and no one is to be deprived of that right. And so let us use this very tragic incident, the death of Mario Dean, as his mother would want, to be the point where Jamaica changes, to be the point where we make human rights foremost in our thoughts when we deal with the citizens. The development of our country is not just our growth in GDP, but a large part of it is how we expand and protect the rights of our citizens. That is indeed the new challenge that faces us in the next 50 years of our independence.
There is no attempt by the government to remove cash, meaning paper money, from the system. Don't you see it is stupidness? But the number of people who have followed it gets me worried about what Jamaicans are consuming as information. Where is our reasoning? And why is it so simple for us to be attracted by rumors? As your Prime Minister, I have a duty to call it out when I see it.
There are some countries now that you go and you go in your pocket and you take out cash to pay your bill. And they say, sorry, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take cash here. It's the reality. It's too expensive to deal with cash.
Is alleged that I had omitted bank accounts from my declarations, and one of these accounts was incorrectly reported as a US dollar balance by a financial institution. These matters were cleared as the accounts in question, by my recollection, were dormant, previously reported, and the balance in them were around Jamaican $3,000 and 200 euros. Other accounts were identified and alleged to be belonging to me, but undeclared. Some of these accounts were opened by my parents as far back as 1975, and my name later added, probably while I was still a child. Many Jamaicans add their children to their accounts for survivorship reasons and in the event of emergencies. I have never claimed these as my assets. And I am satisfied that the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled that there was insufficient evidence to support claims that I intentionally omitted bank accounts from my declarations, and that there is greater evidence to support my explanation as opposed to evidence to the contrary.
So there are two separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those two separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the 4 accounts, there were 2 related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager and another one. Now, it's important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Holness's attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Holness did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness. So in essence, he's saying Mr. Holness said he knew nothing about these accounts, but funds are flowing in the region of millions of dollars. Deposits put in today, taken out the following week. 2 accounts controlled solely by him. So the question is, was Mr. Holness being truthful when he said, well, it's my parents' account and I don't know anything about it?
Lock down the country, Mr. Anti-predatory. Lock it down before you win. I saw the election and run it out on my program every day. I see the landslide. Sir, please, for God's sake, come off your pomp and pride. No disrespect to you, sir. I'm humble before God. Go before God. Lay down and prostrate and say, Lord, show in a late. If God tell me that it is, oh God, Mr. Hunter, if God said that, that's what he meant. I was the one that bring the message to the then Prime Minister, Mr. Bruce Golding, and tell him to call the nation on a fasting.
Have you vaccinated?
No, I'm not. The blood still, I still trust God.
People are saying that the vaccines are unnatural. There's nothing unnatural. God created it.
Tourists are allowed to come into Jamaica on a day when Jamaicans have to stay locked up inside. Do you have a view?
They should come out.
as long as they've got their mask on like we have to have. I don't know why they can't come out with their mask on too.
Well, the reason is that we've seen an escalation in COVID cases in the last couple of, say the last 2 months. We have seen an escalation in deaths and infections.
Well, so
And
in
it's
the
not-
United States, though, we've got a big abundance of the COVID breaking out also. And we're allowed to go out as long as we have our mask on. So I don't know why Jamaicans can't come out without their, as long as they've got their mask on, like we do in the United States.
It has created some controversy here
Yeah.
among the locals who believe that it is unfair.
It is unfair. They should be able to come out.
What has your experience been? I don't know if you've been here before. Is this your first time?
No, I've been here several times.
And you've been here at a time when you could mingle with the,
Oh
with the
yeah,
locals.
when it was crowded and everything was open and that, yeah.
What's your experience now, given that there is no locals for you to mingle with? Is it a different experience?
Yes. It
How
looks like
so?
it's a ghost town now. That explain it?
It does. Does that take away the fun though?
No, I mean, you don't have the people cheering around or walking around and greeting you like you usually do. I mean, yes, you got the people that are at the stores, but you don't have the ones that are walking in the streets greeting you like I have before when I've been here.
And do you miss that?
Yes, yes.
What about it you like?
Just the friendliness of everybody here. I do miss that, yes.
How long have you been coming to Jamaica? Can you say how many trips?
I
you've
think
made?
this is my 4th trip here.
Okay.
My 4th time.
And you mind saying where in the US you're from?
Michigan?
In Michigan. Okay. How long ago you booked this
We booked
cruise?
this back in February, I think. I think it was in February we booked it.
Okay.
Right now, I tell you, some belly button, I drop out. I well need some food. I want some food. When last have you eaten? From day before yesterday.
What is?
Me need release. I'm bad from my heart. I'm hungry.
Because we're not going to die from the coronavirus, we're going to die from starvation and lack of water.
Hungry, see me. Yesterday they bring 2 bags of food.
My house empty. So me have here 4 months. No feeding, no pampers. No feed. We can't come on road. And in our community no one come talk. But me we talk for everybody.
Can't cheat this to anti-honest. You have to do something wrong with Brogan want food.
And you have to check in, you know, because we have to find, you know, we want food, you know.
He had refused to give a woman who was over 8 years of age one of the food packages.
The ombudsman come in here and they said that they're going to give us food. Some people only get 2 buns and a bottle of water. Oh, please, come on. We are human beings.
This is my water bill, and I need to pay it because I don't want it bank up, and I need food in my house to eat. I don't want the money, so I've got to draw money and keep it because last night I hear about this, I've been waiting to hear the next interview about this, and it's last night me here, support more lockdown.
Yeah, so what the police saying to you now?
Him say me can't go to the bank if I go home back.
Okay, even though you need funds?
Me need funds now, and nobody no give me nothing, no politician no care nothing come on my yard come give me.
Alright, make an appeal to the government.
Well, me I make an appeal now to Andrew Onis, you have to change this because I listening for you last night to talk about people who want to go bank for their money and I don't hear nothing about if you go to bank and draw what you draw and coming back.
This is the city of Montego Bay. Only dogs you can find on the streets.
No, this used to be the city.
This is the place that they say Montego Bay is the city that never sleeps. And it is sleeping from 2 o'clock this afternoon. My God, this is real? Montego Bay, Jamaica? Is this real? Only dogs and the 2 security are here. Police are gone. Everybody's gone. This is a city that never sleeps. Jamaica, Montego Bay is sleeping now. Look across the street from Scotia. Nobody's there. You gotta.
I watched during COVID when they locked down the whole of Portmore.
to stem the spread of the virus that them say anyhow you gather in numbers, even on a corner shop, you will cause an outbreak. And only a few months later, they called a general election in the midst of the COVID epidemic. And 2 weeks later, we had the biggest outbreak of COVID island-wide, and we paid for their greed for power in human lives.
The government is coming under fire after the circulation of videos of scores of partygoers breaching COVID-19 protocols in Negril, Westmoreland. Now, we will have reactions from stakeholders in the local entertainment interests later on. But first, health and the tourism interests say no permission was granted for the event to go ahead. O'Shane Masters begins our coverage.
Turn it out. Mocha-Fest 2021 brings together partygoers from around the globe to Negril, Jamaica. The event was initially cancelled in 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but it was back again on the agenda. Officials from the Ministry of Tourism say permission was not granted for the event to be hosted. However, on the Visit Jamaica website, which is operated by the Jamaica Tourist Board, the party was still being promoted up to Thursday. It was subsequently taken down. We've been trying to get officials from the Jamaica Tourist Board to comment via phone, but that has proven to be unsuccessful.
Thank you guys very much tonight. Boys, see that video I'm going to play? It's how when the people might get the chicken for the joke. And 4 minutes. Fried chicken, you know. Anyway, people, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Yeah, this morning. Yeah, manners and respect. Talk to you guys later.
Orderly. Do you think that the incentives of the gift certificate and the credit has made a difference?
I believe it will. I believe so. Yes. Yes. Without a doubt. As a little boy, when you used to go to the doctor with your mother and you went for an injection, did your doctor give you a lollipop after you finish or a sticker?
Yes.
And that's the incentive, because a child of that age getting a sticker, even at school, to do well, you get a star sticker or a well done sticker. Same concept. Just incentivizing the people. This pandemic has hit home hard to the inner city, the persons in the community around us. Why? Because people live from day to day, you know, and with the lockdowns, it has been a challenge. So what we're doing, we're providing a meal and some credit that he can use either for school or just to make a phone call.
More. No, sir. Watch out. Look at the traffic. Everybody I left Portmore. Look on the line of traffic. Janua. Watch out. Look on the traffic. Everybody I move out. Watch out. Look on the odds and look on the traffic. Janua, the people in my ship out. Watch out. All our family member town and them place. Watch out.
I watched during COVID when they locked down the whole of Portmore to stem the spread of the virus that them say anyhow you gather in numbers. Even on a corner shop, you will cause an outbreak. And only a few months later, they called a general election in the midst of the COVID epidemic. And 2 weeks later, we had the biggest outbreak of COVID island-wide, and we paid for their greed for power in human lives.
We have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead, them can't kill me said. No, we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead. Whoa, I'm from the beautiful land of Jamaica, land of sunshine and the best reggae maker. From me was a little boy from dollar a paper. Pay corruption of poor people, paper them creating killer, thief and raper. Youth graduate from college done hotel waiter. Politician them at that but them we get better later. Only man never better the undertaker. The truth, but what we kill we dead. And when me dead them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said now. Whoa, things out of hand in a all kind of manner. Motor vehicle examiner are the biggest scammer. Them scam me nephew, me niece and me mama. Wonder when the government a go put down the hammer. Police respect your uniform, the oath on the honor. No in a rum bar and a drink till the stomach. Embarrassment to the force with on the vulgar grammar. Jump in a yoke, you almost kill nana. Office speak the truth, no one fi kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill them, me said now. We have to speak the truth, no one fi kill me dead. No one when me dead, them can't kill them, me said now. Well, this a topic when me want to get wild and why so much pretty fall they pan me island. A Jamaica me at a bone, no one no Thailand. Big man dead, they want to take a lick of picking in island. Pity for the stop, government figure off for them. Look on the size and left me look at that of them. Bring them in a jailhouse, make the judge slaughter them in a prison. When they feel the rat again, I'll be speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill them, me said now. Me have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill them, me said now. Politician, for your time now, open your ears all. The citizen in charge of the seat that you hold when election done. You remember us all, not even go fix two patrol. Can't meet with basic needs, then what is your role? The youth they want better road and light pan pole. Youth they want job and money in a bill full. Politician me say make no so cold. So we have to speak the truth, them have to kill we dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said now. We have to speak the truth, them have to kill me. Jamaican callers, they here? Okay.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we go to eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. COVID money, miss away in the yellow correct you. Use the youth, the money, waste for most of the statue. Say we like a cash, but we got enough, we got you. Take this spit of money, God, and say that is not you. One day, the man above me, no, him, I got up. Too much eating at the kitchen, some of fly by like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% praise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me know me got bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rough and they down in a whatever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
When they treat the market man,
it burn me.
When them a treat the cat man,
it burn me.
When they treat the peanut man,
it burn me.
When them a treat the dirt man,
it burn me.
When them a treat the son man,
it burn me.
When them a treat policeman,
it burn me.
How them a treat soldier man,
it burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
I me say put that way we do, you make you do with that. All of the money uno take, you better give it back. All of the land we uno take, you know we want it back. All of the beach you uno tip, you better give it back. And you know sign a code that conduct, we no want you back. You know declare you asset and we no want you back. You coffee fill in your pocket and we no want you back. Have your hand deep in a corruption, we no want you back.